Dr. Navarro right now for a closer look at some of the timing.
Yeah, let's take a look at how things might play out this evening tonight, because we are seeing that activity on the radar now, but this is just the beginning of this event because we are expecting it to persist throughout the night tonight. So right now, this is where the storms are happening, and models have a pretty good handle on where things are going to be going. We've got a lot of activity here down to the south and portions of South Georgia and Florida, but notice this line of storms here starting to light up across portions of the north. This is central and eastern Tennessee into portions of northern Georgia and northern Alabama. Notice those purple colors here. You can see that those very small circles, those are potentially some discrete supercells that are in that line of storms, which could be bringing that very strong hail, very strong wind, and carrying that tornado threat into the evening tonight across portions of Georgia, and then maybe even seeing some strong storms move through the Atlanta area very early on in the morning, about midnight, 1 a.m. Eastern time. That line of storms will continue moving off to the east into portions of the Carolinas by tomorrow morning. So that threat isn't just today. It's throughout the night tonight and then tomorrow for a lot of these areas in Florida, not shown here, but also has that threat for thunderstorms as we head through today, tomorrow. So taking a look at some city by city, here's Chattanooga, Tennessee. You can see your best chance of thunderstorms is going to be this evening, right around 8 o'clock Central Time, into the overnight hours. So 11 midnight, you can see those spotty thunderstorms, and these could be strong. A few strong, potentially severe tornadoes to be moving through, Chris, in some of these areas. But it's tomorrow, too, that we have to watch out for.
It is. Multiple areas across Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and into North Carolina, the chance for some thunderstorms here. And you can see areas in red have the best chance for some of the strongest storms, which does include the possibility for tornadoes, a 4 out of 10 for northern Florida on our Torcon. It's a 40% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius of any point in that region. For central Florida, including Orlando, where all the theme parks are, there's a 3 out of 10 chance, or a 30% chance of a tornado within a 50-mile radius of any point in this region. So we're also looking at another potentially big story, number 4 in a line of nor'easters. Let's go to Dr. Navarro for a look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just unreal the way that the forecast has played out in portions of the Northeast, because we are talking our 4th snowstorm here in less than 3 weeks. This same energy that's causing all the severe weather is going to take shape off the East Coast as we look ahead towards tomorrow, and we're going to be seeing another storm system here develop that's going to bring in a lot of moisture off the Atlantic, and it's going to combine with a lot of cold air that's being filtered down by high pressure over northern Canada, giving us all the ingredients we need to produce a potentially significant snowstorm for a lot of these areas in the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. So taking a look at the latest timing, things going to start off as rain for areas farther to the south, but notice as we head throughout the day tomorrow, we're seeing that snow light up across portions of the mid-Atlantic, places like southern Pennsylvania, as well as the upper elevations of the Appalachians here in northern Virginia and portions of West Virginia. We could be seeing several inches of snow come down, especially in the higher elevations where things are going to be quite cold. But look at this. Wednesday morning, look at the light blue colors starting to break out across portions of the east. This could be, again, potentially significant snow coming down, not just for the inland areas, but places along the coast as well. The I-95 corridor and areas in and around that are also going to be at play for several inches of snow as we look ahead towards the day on Wednesday. We'll have much more on severe and winter coming up.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 36. Tuesday, cloudy, high 49. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies, low 29. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
For adults with advanced non-small cell lung cancer, previously treated with platinum-based chemotherapy, including those with an abnormal ALK or EGFR gene who've tried an FDA-approved targeted therapy, who wouldn't want a chance for another? Who'd say no to a? Who wouldn't want a chance to live longer. Opdivo, nivolumab. Over 40,000 patients have been prescribed Opdivo immunotherapy. Opdivo can cause your immune system to attack normal organs and tissues in your body and affect how they work. This may happen during or after treatment has ended and may become serious and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you experience new or worsening cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, extreme fatigue, constipation, excessive thirst or urine, swollen ankles, loss of appetite, rash, itching, headache, confusion, hallucinations, muscle or joint pain, flushing, fever or weakness, as this may keep these problems from becoming more serious. These are not all the possible side effects of Opdivo. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems or if you've had an organ transplant or lung, breathing, or liver problems. A chance to live longer, because who wouldn't want that? Ask your doctor about Opdivo. Thank you to all involved in Opdivo clinical trials.
People everywhere are confusing Quilted Northern for robes. They're both cushiony, comforting, and add elegance to your home. But Quilted Northern is not a robe. It's just really nice toilet paper.
So you'll be here to help protect my car?
State Farm will be here.
Okay. What about here?
Yep. Nice. My screen didn't crack.
Thank goodness.
What about
Obviously.
Here?
I don't think so.
That makes sense.
What about here?
Here too.
Awesome.
That wasn't my fault.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Taylor Watson?
No. Is there a problem? We have a warrant for Taylor Watson for fraud.
I'm Taylor Watson.
Millions of children have already been victims of identity theft, some never knowing until it's too late. But now there's Experian. Protect your loved ones with our new family plan. Start for free at Experian.com/family. Experian. Identity protection has a new identity.
Please keep your shoes on. Stop messing with your sister. Hey, don't make me come back there.
So?
Feels really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Customer service that goes the extra mile. Enterprise makes it easy.
At the Joseph A. Bank one-day sale, save up to 70% off almost everything. All 1905 and executive suits, $199. All dress shirts and sports shirts, $39. Plus, get all traveler twill pants for $49. And go wherever the moment takes you. The one-day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
More and more people have discovered something stronger, more dependable, longer lasting in a Chevy truck. And now you can too. See why Chevrolet is the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Current competitive owners can get a total value of over $11,000 on this Silverado All-Star when you finance with GM Financial. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
The moment you realize you have enough food for your guests, but not enough fridge.
At Lowe's, we have more appliances to choose from, so you'll find the right one at the right price. And we'll deliver it for free.
Shop Lowe's Spring Black Friday and get up to 30% off select appliance special values.
To test new Posted Extreme Notes, they came to an extreme place, right here in Alaska. And well, these Posted Extreme Notes really stick in the toughest conditions. They'll help you get it said and get just about any job done, especially if it ain't no regular office job. Water resistant with DuraHold paper and adhesive. New Posted Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
Dangerous storms ongoing in the state of Mississippi today. We've got a tornado warning up for northern parts of the state here, including Prentiss County and Tishomingo. This warning goes until 5 p.m. Central Time, and you can see right there where that arrow is pointing down, that pink to lavender color. That is a very strong supercell thunderstorm that is moving off to the east, just to the east of Marietta. And you can see where those green and red colors are close together. Now in that circled, highlighted area, that is the storm rotation, the tight coupling frontlet that we're watching showing us a very dangerous and strong storm, bringing strong winds, likely some big hail, and that threat for a tornado here as it moves off to the east. Here's a look at the hail sizes that are being estimated by the radar, and this is nothing to sneeze at here. 1-inch hail estimated, possibly a little bit higher than that coming down at the surface. That could absolutely be bringing some damage to some cars and anything underneath those surfaces right now. This storm is moving off to the east, so by about 4:54, it'll be in the Dennis area and then the Dennis School area after that, and then off to Pogo right around the top of the hour there, and then into the state of Georgia after that. So please, if you find yourself in the path of the storm, take cover, take the storm seriously, and make sure you wait until after the storm passes.
This likely a scene that will be replayed throughout the course of the evening. A look at the hail falling this afternoon with what we're looking at is still early on in this severe weather day. This video is just into us from Ripley, Mississippi. And of course, here at the Weather Channel, we do have crews that are positioned across the south to cover these storms. Also, expert analysis you will only find here on the Weather Channel throughout the course of this evening with a very significant tornado threat that we're looking at. But along with that tornado threat, more hail, even larger than this, is possible. And this is a look at the active radar right now, where there's some very heavy rain coming down across parts of Florida and Georgia with a lot of lightning, too.
Yeah, that lightning has been substantial throughout the day. We're seeing several hundred lightning strikes here, 591 to be exact, in just the last 15 minutes. And it extends all the way from central Georgia down 75 into areas of central Florida. Take a look at the Daytona Beach area. You're seeing very strong thunderstorms now rolling into I-95, as well as south of Gainesville off towards Ocala. That is a lot of heavy rain likely coming down, but a lot of lightning strikes, Chris, that could be very damaging if you find yourself in this system. And lightning like this is one of nature's most impressive, but also most dangerous phenomena.
And it can be impossible to predict where and what it will strike at any given moment. Meteorologist Alex Wilson explains what makes it so extraordinary.
The U.S. sees around 25 million cloud-to-ground lightning flashes per year. Lightning hits the Earth 100 times per second. A typical lightning flash is 300 million volts. In comparison, household current is about 120 volts. A typical flash of lightning could power a 100-watt incandescent bulb for more than 3 months. Lightning can heat the air it passes through to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Your odds of being struck by lightning during your lifetime? 1 in 12,000. Lightning is the second most deadly kind of weather in the U.S., behind floods. Lightning is fatal to about 10% of people who are struck. On average, Willis Tower in Chicago is struck by lightning 50 to 100 times a year. But Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela is the most struck place on the planet. There are often 28 lightning strikes a minute. I'm meteorologist Alex Wilson, the Weather Channel.
And in addition to this lightning threat, we do have tornado watches out for portions of the south. This watch here includes most of central Tennessee, including the Nashville metro area, going until 11 o'clock central time tonight. But off to the south, it's these areas that are under a particularly dangerous situation. This is a rare type of warning here, showing you that ingredients are coming together for a substantial tornado threat. We'll have much more and expert analysis coming up.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clear skin is achievable after just 4 months, with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Tell your doctor if these occur. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Other side effects include upper respiratory tract infection and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
As winter storms approach, there is one place to turn to and to trust. Preparing you to stay safe. going beyond the maps and apps, taking you to the worst conditions, with experts breaking down the impact of every system, every season, every storm, every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 36. Tuesday, cloudy, high 49. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies, low 29. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
No.
When you carry out, some things are out of your control. But with Domino's new carry-out insurance, we'll replace your pizza if it gets ruined after you leave the store. Carry out large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 every day.
More than half of our community have discovered their Irish roots, which means your smiling eyes might be Irish too. Order Ancestry DNA and find the surprises in you. Just $69 through Monday. Get your kit today.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night, so he got home safe.
Yeah, my dad says their insurance doesn't have that.
What?
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Introducing new Post-it Extreme Notes. They stick in tough conditions, so you can get it said and get just about any job done. Water resistant with Durahold paper and adhesive. New Post-it Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
What average underwear feels like. What Duluth Buck Naked underwear feels like. Duluth Trading Buck Naked underwear. The most comfortable underwear there is. No pinch, no stink, no sweat. Get a pair. Only at Duluth stores and DuluthTrading.com.
Mary and Shirley both need oxygen. Shirley lost her freedom the day she went on oxygen, but Mary has the brand new ultra-compact Inogen 1 G4 oxygen concentrator from Inogen. It's the smallest and lightest model we've ever made. Shirley is forced to miss out on everyday activities. Mary fully enjoys her life. Shirley has to wait for tank deliveries and worries about running out of oxygen. But Mary's Inogen 1 G4 makes its own oxygen, so she'll always have the oxygen she needs anytime, anywhere. Shirley finally listened to Mary and now has more freedom too. It's time for you to reclaim your freedom and independence with the Inogen 1 G4. Act now to start your 30-day risk-free trial. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait and don't accept substitutions. The sooner you call, the sooner you can say goodbye to heavy oxygen tanks for good and reclaim the freedom and independence you deserve. Call now for your 30-day risk-free trial.
Call 800-317-2619.
Every season, every storm, every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
A tornado alert right now. We're looking at a tornado warning that this storm is about to cross state lines from Mississippi to Alabama. This includes Belmont, Golden, and Tishomingo. These areas right now need to be on alert for the potential of a tornado. Now, you look at the different colors here. Green is showing us where winds are going toward the radar. Red shows us where winds are going away from the radar. And you see where they're really close together. That is most likely the location of the rotation where the tornado likely is. So in Belmont, heads up. It does look like that storm is heading your way right now. This is still early on in the game as far as the severe weather threat goes. We have storm trackers, Weather Channel crews that are out monitoring the situation, checking conditions of Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, then eventually the Carolinas and Florida. All in play for the chance of some very strong storms. And this storm right here, you can see that the area that it's going into Alabama, which is currently under a PDS, a particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. This means the long-lived and intense tornadoes are likely in these areas right here. Looking at a big threat this evening for tornadoes. Dr. Navarro.
And Chris, it's not just tornadoes that we're watching. We are now in anticipation of another winter storm coming into the Northeast. Just this past hour, a newly named winter storm here, Toby, the fourth in less than 3 weeks to hit some of the same areas across portions of the Northeast. We could be talking again, a significant storm system to be moving in as we look ahead towards Tuesday and Wednesday. So taking a look right now at what the models are showing, you can see that rain spreading across the area, starting to change over to snow as we head into the evening on Tuesday. You can see that snow starting to break out into the upper elevations of the Appalachians and parts of southern Pennsylvania. But watch what happens as we head towards Wednesday morning. We've got a lot of cold air that's being filtered in from the north here from a high pressure that is over northern Canada. That's going to help set the stage. That combination with the moisture off the Atlantic and cold air could be talking about lots of snow breaking out across portions of these areas here. And then as we head throughout the evening, as that storm really takes shape up off the coast and heads off to the northeast, we could be talking about significant bands of snow moving into the coastal areas, I-95 and areas to the west of that, looking ahead towards Philadelphia, Boston, maybe even D.C., seeing some snowfall accumulation with this system. So yes, it is the first day of spring this week, but winter is not over yet because these are some substantial totals to be coming down in these areas, and things can still change. We could see some wiggles in the track of the system, which could limit or maybe even overproduce in some areas. There is still uncertainty in the exact numbers, but this is what you can plan for. Potentially a narrow corridor here from Philadelphia east of 8 to 12 inches, a foot of snow coming for portions of central Jersey, but 5 to 8 in general across many of these areas and up into northern New England, Boston at play for another several inches of snow, and then 3 to 5 in some areas like Bangor, Maine, and areas inland. But models are in general good agreement about the location of the system and the timing. So there's very high confidence that we are going to see this event play out. In D.C., it's been a pretty lackluster winter, but Chris, we could be talking several inches for the D.C. area, and they have really missed out. So this could be a big deal for them.
Yes, and we also want to make sure our friends in California are safe as well, because there's also real concern that we could have more issues with heavy rain falling on some of the burn scars, the burn areas. Here's a look at the Thomas Fire burn area at some of the mountains around Ojai, California, and extending out here to above Santa Barbara. So with more heavy rain on the way, this could be a serious issue with mudslides and possibly debris flows. Here's a look at this huge system that is out there. And what's important about this system is that it's tapping into a lot of moisture around Hawaii. So you're talking about some tropical moisture that's going to be making it all the way up to Southern California in the coming days, getting enhanced lift from the mountains that are facing or perpendicular to the direction of the flow of the moisture that's going to be moving into this area will enhance the rainfall and potentially create a very serious and potentially dangerous situation with 5 to 8 inches of rain on the way. That's bad news. The good news would be, though, that there will be some more snow for the mountains, which every inch, in this case, every feet, will be useful for the water supply this summer. Dr. Navarro.
And we have crews and trackers in the field keeping you ahead of this particularly dangerous situation. You're taking a look right now in the state of Alabama at some storms on the horizon. Things will be changing as we head throughout the night, and we've got expert analysis from our severe weather expert and our team on Weather Underground coming up next.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 36. Tuesday, cloudy, high. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies, low 29, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coming up on a special edition of Weather Underground.
Dangerous hours ahead as a severe weather outbreak is erupting across the southeast tonight. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes are all likely.
And the tornado threat right now is a significant one, with the highest torcons of the year, all involving major cities in the south, as we track what could be the biggest severe weather event since last summer.
Plus, newly named Winter Storm Toby likely to be the 4th nor'easter this month to hit the northeast, and every major city along the I-95 corridor is at risk for big snow. And thank you for joining us, everyone, here on a special edition of Weather Underground. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Widespread severe storms erupting across parts of the southeast tonight. And for the big threat, we bring in the expert. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes joins us here in the lab.
Thanks, Alex. And right now we have a funnel cloud going across Belmont and Tishomingo County in northeast Mississippi. That's part of an area that's in a particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch for northeast Mississippi, northern Alabama, southern Tennessee until 11 o'clock. Nashville, northern Tennessee, you're in a regular tornado watch. 2-inch hail in northern Tennessee. The rest of the area could be getting 3-inch hail and maybe some gusts to 60, 70 mile per hour. Here we have tornado warnings in that northeast Mississippi, northwest Alabama area. In the warm air between the cold front and the red warm front, a few other severe thunderstorms will fire up along that warm front. But it's going to be this line coming out of Mississippi into Alabama that's going to have the biggest tornado threat. Right now, as I say, we've had a funnel cloud in Tishomingo County, and then that storm then is going to move into Alabama, Colbert and Franklin County. That is moving eastward at about a little over 50 miles per hour. Right there, just to the north of Red Bay, inside that little hook right there. Can you see it hooking around? That's where the tornado is. It's moving fast, so I'll have to be adjusting these. So there's some of the approximate times. Pleasant Site there is the approximate location at about 5:06 as it moves from that funnel cloud location at Belmont over into Alabama. Here's where in fact, the circulation now seems to be crossing the state line. Red's northbound, green southbound. So the circulation is pushed east of Belmont, going to go just south of the community of Pogo, or the landmark of Pogo there in northwest parts of Alabama. And with that storm also, look at the Lavender Core, could be some golf ball size hail with this coming across Colbert and Franklin counties toward the areas north and west of Newburgh, Alabama. And we could see these storms down around Tupelo. You could see that there are little supercell thunderstorms with hooks on them. These could develop more tornadoes as well as we get a little bit later on. It's this line with the winds at 5,000 feet strengthening above that. The wind shear is stronger on that than it is out near the warm front today. Strong thunderstorm moving through the Chattanooga, Tennessee area, and storm that could have some hail 1 inch or larger down in the area north of Cordell, Alabama, Dooley, Pulaski, and Wilcox counties. That storm moving northeast near that warm frontal zone. Here is part of the reason why the situation will get worse this evening and tonight. The upper low and its strong winds aloft are pushing eastbound, and so that is going to, despite maybe a little bit of a cooling trend this evening, push those storms from where they are right now all the way into the Atlanta metro area and more isolated as we get down toward the South Georgia, Florida area. But some tornado threat just about everywhere, especially up in northern Alabama, where, as you've heard, tornado condition index values of 70% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. Middle Tennessee, northwest Georgia 6, and then 5, and then progressively lower as you go farther to the south. Our future radar shows the timing of this, 7 o'clock, a whole line of thunderstorms from Nashville down into northern parts of Alabama. And then as we head toward the 10 o'clock or so, those storms getting into Georgia, northeast Alabama, around midnight into the Atlanta area, and then pushing western South Carolina down into central parts of Georgia as we get into the wee hours of the morning, and maybe all the way to the coast of South Carolina tomorrow morning. So Mike and Alex, it's going to be a stormy evening, and overnight some of these tornadoes could be long-lived and dangerous, hence that PDS tornado watch.
All right, Dr. Forbes, thanks for keeping us updated on the radar there. We also know that tornado watch in effect for parts of Mississippi, Tennessee, and Alabama. That includes the city of Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, that's where we find meteorologist Mike Seidel. And, Mike, you talk about a city like Birmingham that has had its share of severe weather. And I'm sure anytime they're getting that warning, seeing those high torcons, they're taking notice.
Yeah, they remember 2011, 7 years ago on April 27th, that tornado that actually rained debris up on this hill. We're on the south side of the city. I want to take you just north of here where they had a storm earlier that dropped heavy rain and hail. This is Morris, Alabama. This is right up I-65, about 20 minutes or so, and you can see the heavy rain. Pete, a marble-sized hail raining down on that town. That cell has now moved off to the east. And then we go into the northwest corner where they're getting more dangerous storms right now. Muscle Shoals, Alabama, with heavy rain. You can probably hear the tornado sirens. And right now we have another severe thunderstorm warning for Muscle Shoals. And just south of there, those two tornado warnings that Dr. Forbes mentioned. These storms are rolling east at about 50 miles an hour. The tornado warning continues for southern Colbert County and northern Franklin County until 5:30 this evening. Let's time it out for Birmingham. That cold front now getting into Mississippi, helping to lift the atmosphere. We also have a lot of wind shear. Here in Birmingham, the sun is out. Temperatures have warmed up nicely. We were murky this morning in the cool air, the wedge north of the front. Now we're in the warm sector. We are primed for storms. Looks like peak time here will be between about 8 and 10 p.m. Central. So that is the window here in Birmingham. Again, if you're west of Birmingham earlier, east of here towards the Georgia line, it's going to be later on this evening. That PDS, particularly dangerous situation tornado watch up until 11 o'clock tonight. We'll keep you updated. Right now, though, the immediate Birmingham area is clear, but don't let your guard down. And remember, let everybody know, especially if you've got a friends living in mobile home parks, get to a safe spot. Don't wait for the warnings as these storms head east at 50 miles an hour. Let's go back to Mike and Alex, and we'll keep you updated here from Birmingham throughout the evening. Guys?
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Good advice there, too. A mobile home is not safe. Even just a thunderstorm, you're not very safe in a mobile home. But we know that widespread threat across the southeast and a couple places that could be impacted, Atlanta and Chattanooga. Temperatures upper 50s to low 60s right now. It's been a murky atmosphere. We haven't had that really classic sunny day, then storms fire up. We've had a little bit of a muddied atmosphere today, but that doesn't mean that the severe weather isn't going to happen.
Right. We're going to see those storms rolling. How strong they're able to stay as they get through the Atlanta area will be something that we watch. We think as they approach the Atlanta area west of town, those temps are still plenty warm. 7 o'clock could see a strong thunderstorms as those storms approach right around midnight, 1 o'clock. That's when we think the greatest chance of the severe weather will be in Atlanta.
There's that risk. I mean, it's 1 o'clock at night. You might be sleeping, so have your weather radio ready to go or have the alert feature on your phone. All the new phones have the automatic alerts for severe weather and tornado warnings, so make sure that's activated and your phone is not in vibrate mode.
Right, a place like Chattanooga, a little bit earlier for you. You're looking at 9, 10 to 11 o'clock. So again, for the kids, they might be asleep already. Maybe you work an early shift, you're going to bed. Have a way to get those alerts should they be issued. Once we get into the early morning hours of your Tuesday, things are much quieter. All
right, we're going to take you to Macon now. A couple of rounds of stormy weather could come our way this evening, maybe till about 8, 9 o'clock or so, and then coming in again around midnight and thereafter. So right before you go to bed, then after you've gone to bed tonight, we've got two different rounds that come in.
Yeah, south of town we've been watching, or south of Atlanta into Georgia, we've been watching the storms. Augusta, another one of those spots that has the chance of thunderstorms really as we go through the rest of the evening and into the overnight hours. So you get through your dinner time hour fairly quiet. Sitting down to watch TV, getting ready for bed and going to bed, that's when the storms will be rolling through.
70-mile-an-hour winds, golf ball size hail at least, and the possibility of tornadoes. Take all those threats very, very seriously tonight. We know the danger does not end tonight, so coming up, the latest timing for the overnight threat. Who needs to be on alert for tornadoes and damaging winds well into tomorrow?
And we take you to St. Louis this evening. Good evening. A gloomy, murky evening for you. 47 degrees with rain showers. Barely make out the arch.
Only clouds can create thousands of soft, gentle raindrops with a refreshing downpour. Until now.
Oh, it's a deluge! We need more clouds!
Real Rain by Kohler, the most authentic rain shower experience on Earth.
Brought to you by the bold look of Kohler.
For a future full of possibilities, our 12-step process provides 100% pure quality water. Nestle Pure Life. Pure Life begins now.
Like most people, Mrs. McCabe has several different types of flooring.
I have carpet, tile, and hardwood. I've tried running those machines, but they just don't get them as clean as you do.
Vacuuming and mopping is great for day-to-day cleanings, but nothing gets your home clean and healthy like a professional carpet, tile, or hardwood cleaning from Stanley Steamer.
That's why I call.
Call or go online for our $99 special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, just certified cleaner.
People everywhere are confusing Quilted Northern for a bouncy castle. They're both durable, flexible, and nice to have at parties. But Quilted Northern is not a bouncy castle. It's just really nice toilet paper.
Decisions. On the dark web, identity thieves have their pick of personal information, cheap. And with data breaches on the rise, they can get their hands on even more. But now you can protect yourself with Experian. Find out right now if your identity's already been compromised with a completely free dark web scan at Experian.com/free. Experian. Identity protection has a new identity.
At the Joseph A. Bank one-day sale, save up to 70% off almost everything. All 1905 and executive suits, $199. All dress shirts and sports shirts, $39. Plus, get all traveler twill pants for $49 and go wherever the moment takes you. The one-day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
To test new Posted Extreme Notes, they came to an extreme place, right here in Alaska. And well, these Posted Extreme Notes really stick in the toughest conditions. They'll help you get it said and get just about any job done, especially if it ain't no regular office job. Water resistant with Durahold paper and adhesive. New Posted Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
If you're at home asking why, we've got a guy for that.
That's right, Carl Parker looking at the atmosphere. When you get it, you're gonna love it. That's well done.
Slow clap.
Use the hashtag WUTV on Twitter.
Yeah, Mom.
And this is gonna be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
We nailed it.
Every season, every storm, every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
We're at the early stages of what could be an evening and into the overnight tornado outbreak. We do have one tornado warning now in northwest parts of Alabama. These storms flying eastward at about 50 miles per hour to 55 miles per hour. This storm in Mississippi has had a history of a couple of funnel clouds, most recently in Belmont. And I think you could see the hook echo right there. That's where the tornado would sit inside that. North of Red Bay, heading toward Russellville, Alabama, Colbert and Franklin counties, you have a tornado warning. Tornado sitting right inside there. Mostly you're fairly rural, going to stay north of Highway 24 near the areas like Waco, and then heading about 528 over into the Russellville area. So you need to be on the lookout for that. Here is Russellville over here. Here is the tornado vortex signature, green southbound, reds northbound. Not extremely tight rotation coupled at this time, and I'm not seeing debris, but there have been some funnel clouds with this. And as these storms progress this evening, some of the storms could be long-lived and particularly dangerous, strong tornadoes. So we're going to be on the lookout for these after dark tornadoes. Mike Bettis has more about that.
Hey, Dr. Forbes, before we cover that, I want you to take a look at the screen there and the live streaming camera that we have. This is the tornado warned storm. When you take a look at this, what are your thoughts?
Well, all of these clouds today are going to have very low cloud bases, so it's going to be very difficult with a combination of trees and rolling terrain to see whether or not there's a tornado. So you should be seeking shelter based upon the warnings that you get. Behind that cluster of trees, there's lowest of all of the cloud hanging areas. So that's one of the areas that the chasers would be looking at to see if any kind of rotation develops in there.
What do you see on the right-hand side there, Dr. Forbes?
Well, I'm seeing mostly, I think, because there's some little scud clouds, a little wisp of clouds that are coming down or rising up. So nothing that I would confirm as a tornado there, but just around the middle of the picture there is where I would be looking
Yeah, you mentioned that we have such low clouds here. It's almost like you have a wall cloud that's almost touching the ground here, it seems like.
Yeah, it really is. And this little cluster right in here would be where I would be looking at. This may be a wall cloud. I don't know exactly where they're located, but this portion of overall lower hanging than the prevailing cloud base is where probably the lowest portion of the rotation could be in this storm. So that would be the place where you would be likely to get a tornado if the rotation increased.
And Dr. Forbes, you've mentioned the low bases of the clouds today, plus the timing is going to be after dark in some of these areas too. So these guys that are out there, they know what they're looking for. You're not going to want to go out and try to find one of these.
No, absolutely not. Sometimes you can see storms by way of the lightning, but in this kind of southeast territory with rolling terrain and low clouds, you can't count on seeing a tornado coming. You should be avoiding being outside at night and monitoring radar, monitoring those warnings as you get them by various devices.
And to your point there, Dr. Forbes, now we see the rain that's come with that storm as well. Do you think we could have rain-wrapped tornadoes tonight?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big problem because it is a very, very humid environment, and so we are going to have a lot of very quick wrapping around of the hook echoes, the rain circulating around the tornado, so we could have rain-wrapped tornadoes tonight.
Something else I'm noticing just looking at the overall picture of this storm as it moves is how quick it is moving. So you are getting a sense of how quickly these storms are moving. These are going to be, tough to outrun if you were trying to, and especially in some of those areas where the road network isn't as great.
One thing that we've noticed, and our weather producer Catherine Prostef alerted this to us, is that these storms, you may actually get a decent amount of warning time because you can track an individual supercell, and you may potentially get an hour or 90 minutes heads up with these storms that are maybe off to your west and coming your way. That gives you ample time to get to where you need to get to be safe.
Yeah, if these long-lived supercells continue to track, say, right now, right along the Alabama-Mississippi state line, they could potentially track all the way across Alabama towards the Georgia state line.
We got a long way to go. It's going to be a tough night for sure. We're going to update you when we come back on the very latest on the tornado warnings, a threat of damaging storms that continues tomorrow across the southeast as well. We're back right after this.
Please keep your shoes on. Stop messing with your sister. Hey, don't make me come back there.
So?
Feels really good. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Customer service that goes the extra mile. Enterprise makes it easy.
Life happens everywhere, like it never even happened. Only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com.
I'm your phone. Stuck down here between your seat and your console? Playing a little hide and seek. Cold. Warmer. Warmer. Boiling. Jackpot. And if you've got cut rate car insurance, you could be picking up these charges yourself. So get Allstate, where agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Bringing my Giovanni Rana pasta to everyone in America wasn't so easy. So I made it easy for America to find me. In the refrigerated section, Giovanni Rana pasta. Share what's inside.
All right, I brought in high protein to help get us moving and help you feel more strength and energy in just 2 weeks. I'll take that.
Ensure high protein with 16 grams of protein and 4 grams of sugar. Ensure always be you.
Each year, Sarah climbs 58,070 steps. That's the height of Mount Everest. Because each day she chooses to take the stairs, at work, at home, even on the escalator. That can be hard on her lower body. So now she does it with Dr. Scholl's orthotics, clinically proven to relieve and prevent foot, knee, or lower back pain by reducing the shock and stress that travel up her body with every step she takes. So keep on climbing, Sarah. You're killing it. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
If you're at home asking why, we've got a guy for that.
That's right. Carl Parker looking at the atmosphere. When you get it, you're going to love it. That's well done.
Slow clap.
Use the hashtag WUTV on Twitter.
Yeah, Mom.
And this is going to be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
We nailed it.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is accepting calls to see if you're eligible to enroll now. You may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits, including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're eligible to enroll and may be able to get extra benefits now. Call 800-346-4800. That's 800-346-4800.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 37. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday, cloudy, high 49. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies, low 29. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back into Weather Underground. We are tracking severe weather across parts of the southeast. You're looking at a live image out of Tuscumbia, Alabama, courtesy of Charles Peak. Plenty of rain coming down. And Mike, this goes with what you said. This is a tornado warning, but it's tough to see much of it.
Yeah, so many of us want that visual confirmation. Might be tough to do in some circumstances today. So a lot of the tornado warnings will likely come via a Doppler radar. And you can actually do a really nice job of detecting tornadoes via Doppler radar because they have new software in the last couple of years that actually allows them to detect debris within the storms. It's called correlation coefficient, which actually gives you an idea that something may be lofted into the air.
Right, and we want to send it out to Dr. Forbes because Dr. Forbes, we have one of those tornado debris signatures showing up now with our newest tornado warning storm.
Yeah, we do, and the chasers there are very close to the newest tornado warning storm. We have now a new tornado warning is formed just north of the old tornado warning. Both of these warnings in red are moving east at a little over 50 miles per hour, 50 to 55 in northwest parts of Alabama. Here's the original tornado warning storm, parts of Franklin and Lawrence counties now. A National Weather Service indicating a tornado indicated by debris signature on this one, and there's several paths. One would be coming over toward Russellville. A brand new circulation has just formed on that particular storm here down near the Vena area over toward the burnt out, the old Nauvoo areas, and then the velocity showing up on here. Pretty well-defined circulation showing up still in that circulation heading over toward the Russellville area. Then that's what we call the tornado vortex signature. Then just to the north of that for Colbert County, and here the circulation is one where we could have rain wrapping in front of where the tornado would be, near where the Tuscumbia area is and where the chasers are. So a difficult rain wrap type of tornado heading over towards, say, the Town Creek area at about 550 by way of New Bethel Elementary School and the Layton areas. And this one also has a velocity signature showing up right across Highway 247, going over into the area around north of Littleville, along Highway 43, and then farther to the east. Let's take a look at the debris signature. At times, this particular storm had a little bit of a debris signature showing up on it, but it seems to be a little bit on the transient side, Mike and Alex. So we're beginning to get, though, very close proximity in this line coming out of Mississippi into Alabama circulations, and so this is what our forecasts have been saying. We'll be getting multiple tornado threats coming across Alabama in through these evening hours. Mike and Alex.
All right, Dr. Forbes, thanks so much. I want to bring in storm tracker David Baxter right now. He was bringing us the images out of that storm around Red Bay last segment. Looked like during the commercial break, we were watching your feed, and it did look like a tornado did drop out of that storm. What's the latest on this as it continues to move east?
David, are you with us? We may have lost David, but the images have been pretty impressive with that storm, with really a definitive rotating wall cloud. We still have that tornado warning here, Franklin and Lawrence counties. So right near Red Bay is where he was. He's moved a little bit now, but Red Bay, Russellville, even down towards, say, Haleyville, these are all areas at risk, and you have to take shelter right now.
Yeah, this is the northwest corner of the state of Alabama, so actually very close still to the Mississippi state line, Tennessee state line, just north of Florence, to give you some perspective of where we're looking. But this is really the big show developing, those big storms, those supercells that we think could be long lasting. And this is that signature that we'd be looking for that would show us the rotation within that storm just to the west of Russellville. This is moving east.
There could actually be multiple signatures just north of that one. There's another one back toward Red Bay. There's another one. So we have a cluster of thunderstorms here that could be producing tornadoes right now. So please take immediate shelter. Lowest level of your home. Get down low. Protect your head. Get under a sturdy piece of furniture. We're back in just a few minutes.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, little things can be a big deal. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, 75% clearer skin is achievable with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. And for psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Tell your doctor if these occur. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Other side effects include upper respiratory tract infection and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Great. Another dead end.
Sarge, I just got a tip that'll crack this case wide open. Turns out the prince at the crime scene...
Did McGruffy Wuffy get a tippy-whippy?
I'm serious. We gotta move fast before...
Who's a good boy? Is him a good boy?
I'm just gonna go.
Oh, you wanna go outside? You gotta go tinky poo-poo?
I already went, okay? In the bathroom.
As long as people talk baby talk to dogs, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
For my constipation, my doctor recommended I switch to Miralax. Stimulant laxatives make your body go by forcefully stimulating the nerves in your colon. Miralax is different. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften, unblocking your system naturally. Miralax.
Introducing new Post-it Extreme Notes. They stick in tough conditions, so you can get it said and get just about any job done. Water resistant with Durahold paper and adhesive. New Post-it Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
Diabetes can be a daily struggle, even if you're trying your best. Along with diet and exercise, Once Daily 2JO may help you control your blood sugar. Get into a daily groove.
Let's go tonight. Share the spice of life. Baby, spice it right.
From the makers of Lantus, Toujeo provides blood sugar lowering activity for 24 hours and beyond. Proven blood sugar control all day and all night and significant A1C reduction. Toujeo is used to control high blood sugar in adults with diabetes. It contains 3 times as much insulin in 1 milliliter as standard insulin. Don't use Toujeo to treat diabetic ketoacidosis during episodes of low blood sugar or if you're allergic to insulin. Get medical help right away if you have a serious allergic reaction such as body rash or trouble breathing. Don't reuse needles or share insulin pens. The most common side effect is low blood sugar, which can be life-threatening. It may cause shaking, sweating, fast heartbeat, and blurred vision. Check your blood sugar levels daily. Injection site reactions may occur. Don't change your dose of insulin without talking to your doctor. Tell your doctor about all your medicines and medical conditions. Check insulin label each time you inject. Taking TZDs with insulins like Toujeo may cause heart failure that can lead to death. Find your rhythm and keep on grooving. Ask your doctor about Toujeo.
If you're at home asking why, we've got a guy for that.
That's right. Carl Parker looking at the atmosphere. When you get it, you're going to love it. That's well done.
Slow clap.
Use the hashtag WUTV on Twitter.
Yeah, Mom.
And this is going to be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
We nailed it.
Closed captioning brought to you by Beltone, your premier hearing care partner.
Beltone is conducting a new trial of the most advanced, virtually invisible hearing aid available.
You put them in and suddenly go, oh man, what have I been missing out on?
Call today.
Sheets of rain and small hail in Ripley, Mississippi. This was earlier today. The threat, though, far from over, and we'll actually be watching for the possibility of much larger hail out of storms today. We're talking golf ball, even tennis ball-sized hail possible across these southeastern states as storms roll through. By the way, Ripley, Mississippi, still under a tornado watch until 11 o'clock local time.
Well, it's a night of dangerous severe storms with the threat of damaging winds, maybe baseball-sized hail in some instances, and tornadoes that could linger well after you go to bed tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We're with you until 10 o'clock Eastern. A special extended coverage continues after that until 1 a.m. to keep you ahead of the threat.
Watching it right now on the radar is our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. He's upstairs in the labs. Dr. Forbes, what are you seeing right now on the radar?
Thanks, Mike. Well, we've had reports from emergency management of a possible tornado near Red Bay, Alabama, and baseball-sized hail there. And these watches indicate we could get more of those. In fact, some long-lived, particularly strong and dangerous tornadoes across northern Alabama, northeast Mississippi, southern Tennessee, and the tornado threat up into the Nashville area as well. We could see some 3-inch hail with some of these storms, and those go to 11 o'clock. All of the, there's 3 storms actually right now in northwest Alabama that have tornado warnings on them, in one right beside each other, and a few severe thunderstorms down into central parts of Georgia, along and just south of that warm front where it's pretty warm for this time of year. Here's the situation right now. The southern of these storms is the one, you can see the well-defined hook there coming across Franklin and Lawrence counties in Alabama. There's been a reported tornado with this one in Red Bay, some baseball hail coming just slightly south of east toward the Pleasant Hills School area and the along Highway 43 there in northwest Alabama. Then I think you could see another little hook echo here up around the Russellville area, and that one also has had a tornado warning with that. Pretty much a shear. We're seeing more of a hook shape than we are strong organized shear. The well-defined hook echo here coming into the Russellville area, Franklin and Lawrence counties with a tornado warning, coming right into the Russellville area within the matter of a few minutes. The circulation has weakened a little bit on this one, thank goodness. And then just to the north of that, a storm here that seems like it is probably ingested some of the rain-cooled air, Colbert, Franklin, and Lawrence counties, but there could be a tornado that will be coming over toward the Layton area, the North Cortland area, but that storm too seems to have lost some of its rotation, as it tends to be the case. In these storms, if they get too close together, it's often the southern one that's pulling in that southerly inflow that hasn't been rained into that will be the one that'll persist. Up in northeast Mississippi, Itawamba and Lee counties, north and east of the Tupelo area, that line of thunderstorms we've been just looking at has a tail down into those areas. The upper low and cold pocket loft are still heading to the Mississippi River, so it's this western western edge of the storms that are likely to be the strongest ones today, and that's also where the strongest low-level jet is for these storms that right now are coming across this area. But before the night is over, they'll be coming into the Atlanta area. The farther south you go, the less the tornado threat is going to be. The Torcon values of 7 northern Alabama, 6 is into parts of middle south central Tennessee and northwest Georgia, and then 5s and progressively lower as farther to the south. Atlanta looks like probably about midnight as the storms are coming in to this area. Mike and Alex?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thanks so much. I want to get a report from the ground as well, see what things are like in areas out ahead of the storms.
All right, meteorologist Mike Seidel joining us from Birmingham this evening. Mike, one thing that we've noticed from your shot is you've had some sunshine today. What factor might that play into storms this evening?
Well, certainly we look at the destabilization of the lower levels of the atmosphere, or the boundary layer. And this morning we were north of the warm front. Then we got in the warm sector. That means the warm front went north of us. Now we're in that warm sector. The cold front coming in now into western Mississippi, helping lift the atmosphere. And really the only game in town is where Dr. Forbes has been talking about for the past hour. Northwest, now mainly northwest Alabama, where we have the 2 tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. We can look out towards the north and west, and you can see the top edge, the back edge of these clusters of thunderstorms. Right now we're looking like we're in pretty good shape, at least with these particular cells, because they're all moving east and staying well north of us. It's about 80 or 90 miles as the crow flies up to the north there. So at this point we're feeling pretty good about the situation here in Birmingham, at least in the short term. Remember, we have a PDS tornado watch here, particularly dangerous situation until 11 o'clock tonight. I want to show you some hail from Harvest, Alabama. This is north of here, up near Huntsville, a little northwest of Huntsville, north of Decatur. We've had a lot of hail earlier this afternoon, most of it no larger than marble-sized hail, but we run the risk of large hail through the evening and late tonight because it is, after all, still late March, the final official day of winter, and the atmosphere aloft is colder, so you can generate larger hailstones than you would in this part of the world, say in May and June. And the governor, Kay Ivey, here in Alabama, she spoke earlier about what they're doing ahead of this severe thunderstorm threat.
I want to make this very clear. We are not taking this situation lightly. On the state level, we are working closely with our local partners so that we are all ready to respond if needed. So now is the time to start making your plans to leave for where you plan to get in your safe location. Some of us could see 70 miles per hour or higher winds, baseball-sized hail, and even a tornado.
And Mike and Alex, there are numerous shelters open, whether they're at fire departments, schools, or EMA shelters, but there are just so many shelters that you can head to be safe. There's no reason, if you don't have a safe place, not stay at home and get to a safe place. They're all over the place here in central and northern Alabama.
Well, listen, they learned a very tough lesson back in 2011, and so they're very weather savvy right now, which is a very good thing. I want to take you through this, and Mike, thank you very much for that. I want to take you through this city by city so you can understand what your risk is and when it will be. For Chattanooga, temperatures not all that warm, right? So you might be thinking, it just doesn't really feel like tornadoes, but they could be there for you. Notice that we've got storms in the forecast all the way through 11 o'clock tonight, so after the sun sets tonight and it will be dark, you'll have a chance for some storms. Couple of rounds come your way in Macon, Georgia. This evening through about 8, maybe a little bit of a break, and then returning around midnight. Both storms could produce wind, hail, and possible tornadoes. Atlanta off and on with the storms for you tonight, but the risk likely goes through around 1 o'clock in the morning. Temperatures start to warm for us here. The thing will be, how much will what's known as the wedge potentially protect Atlanta or not? Do we get this little cool tongue of air that comes down off the mountains and protects us, or do we stay in a really unstable atmosphere and just let these storms crank tonight?
Yeah, around northeast of town where you get that cool pocket of air, and we watched this one storm rolling by Chattahoochee Hills, and boy, that lost just about all its muster. So for right now, at least this wedge, and you can see it very definitively, 62 in Atlanta, 60 in Athens. Get down to noon and 69 degrees.
But you wonder, there will be specific areas around Atlanta Metro, especially west and south, where maybe you get a little bit of sunshine today, maybe get a little bit of warming, get some lift for the atmosphere, and next thing you know, you're off to the races. Whereas maybe go up toward Gainesville or so, it might be a different story.
Yeah, a lot of time the areas up on 85 are less susceptible, whereas, say, a place like Douglasville points to the west. They're going to be a little bit more vulnerable, as will the areas up 75. That's where we think we could especially see some action later on.
Doesn't necessarily mean that we still couldn't see damaging storms. You know, a big wind threat could come through a place like Atlanta, a very treed city, so power outages could be a big issue for us. Fallen trees on homes could be a danger as well. But you look at that 10 o'clock forecast, you're now coming into the northwest suburbs. We'll see how it all plays out. This is the future radar. It's not going to be exact, but it'll be close.
Right. The model's picking up on a little weakening, but still very strong storms as they roll through Atlanta. And again, you mentioned that possibility for a punch of damaging winds. And when you talk about how many trees are around the area and how many power lines are then possibly in play.
Any type of outflow could really cause big problems. I want you to stick around because there's a lot more to come here tonight on Weather Underground, updating you on the severe weather, including the likelihood of tornadoes, but also big time hail. That's when we return.
Pure can pure be?
For a future full of possibilities, our 12-step process provides 100% pure quality water. Nestle Pure Life. Pure Life begins now.
Average lasagna? Not in this house. Because that's no average family. That's your family, which is why you didn't grab just any cheese. You picked up Kraft mozzarella with a touch of Philadelphia for lasagna. Yeah. Kraft. Family greatly.
Introducing new Post-it Extreme Notes. They stick in tough conditions, so you can get it said and get just about any job done. Water resistant with Durahold paper and adhesive. New Post-it Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
Hi, I get rid of pests. Always using the latest science.
So I heard you have a mosquito problem.
Yeah, kids can't play outside anymore.
Well, using the research from our entomologists, I'll customize a mosquito treatment plan that's guaranteed to help you get the outdoors back outdoors.
That would be fantastic.
Really fantastic.
If theft were this frequent, you'd definitely do something about it. Well, it is. An identity is stolen every 2 seconds. And you can do something about it with Experian. See if your identity has already been compromised with a free dark web scan at Experian.com/darkweb. Experian. Identity protection has a new identity.
Everyone wants to be the Cadbury bunny, because only he brings delicious Cadbury cream eggs, while others may keep trying. No bunny knows Easter better than Cadbury.
How can you make your hair even stronger? Use Pantene shampoo together with 3-Minute Miracle Daily Conditioner. Their Pro-V formula is like a multivitamin, making your hair 2 times stronger. See the difference when you add 3-Minute Miracle Daily Conditioner.
At the Joseph A. Bank one-day sale, save up to 70% off almost everything. All 1905 and executive suits, $199. All dress shirts and sports shirts, $39. Plus, get all traveler twill pants for $49. And go wherever the moment takes you. The one-day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
For my constipation, my doctor recommended I switch to Miralax. Stimulant laxatives make your body go by forcefully stimulating the nerves in your colon. Miralax is different. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften, unblocking your system naturally. Miralax.
I could do grab yeah, sure. You know what? It's all about it.
The moment you realize a good backyard party requires a good backyard.
At Lowe's, we have everything you need to create the outdoor space you've always wanted.
Shop Lowe's Spring Black Friday and get 5 bags of Stay Green Garden Soil for only $10.
People everywhere are confusing Quilted Northern for robes. They're both cushiony, comforting, and add elegance to your home. But Quilted Northern is not a robe. It's just really nice toilet paper.
I won't give up, no stopping me now. I'm climbing higher, I ain't coming down.
Coors Light is lagered, filtered, and packaged cold for peak refreshment. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
Yeah? You hear that? You ain't nothing!
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Dish constantly innovates better ways to get TV. But how?
If you thought to build in a remote finder, imagine what else you'll think of.
Dish is ranked #1 in customer service nationally by J.D. Power and our customers. Dish, tuned into you.
It's a particularly dangerous situation rolling across northern Alabama this evening with potentially long-lived strong tornadoes. Right now we have 2 tornado warnings in that northwest Alabama area, one of which has had a tornado reported with it and another very well may have. They're right back to back in this line. The southern of the storms had a reported tornado near the Red Bay area, Franklin and Lawrence counties with a potential tornado. That one will be moving, say, toward the Youngtown area at around 6:07 and over toward the Wren area. But that one doesn't have as strong a rotation showing up in velocity as does the storm up to the north of it, just to the east now, the Russellville area. And so that storm is coming through Colbert, Franklin, and Lawrence counties with a potential tornado with that. And do a little bit of an adjustment here so you can see, I think, right in there, right under the Highway 24 symbol, a little bit of a hook showing up. And that's where the tornado would be sitting, just to the east of the Russellville area, coming over toward the Newburgh area, coming right down Highway 24 toward the Moulton, Alabama region. And so here we are. There is the circulation, not quite as strong as a few minutes ago, but coming down close to the Highway 24 area near the Newburgh area. So along with this, Alex, we've seen some baseball hail, so dangerous storms out there tonight.
Absolutely. Dr. Forbes, thanks so much for the update. We're going to continue to watch what's happening now, but what happened earlier today, damaging hail. This in Enid, Oklahoma earlier today. Now, this hail, relatively small in size. We're talking pea to maybe nickel-sized hail. The possibility today or through the later part of today for that golf ball and greater sized hail is absolutely in play, and through a region where we don't typically look at that large hail. You know, parts of Oklahoma, we would more frequently look at the possibility of large hail, but we're talking 1 inch or greater, so quarter sized or larger. That threat is very high for that kind of hail through northwest Georgia, southern tier Tennessee, northern half of the state of Alabama, as well as northwest sections of Mississippi, really where we've watched those storms fire and where they've been moving. Already a golf ball sized hail located out of those storms into northwest Alabama. How do we get that hail? Well, we've got that inflow of that warm, moist air, and we've got very strong updrafts within these storms, and that's able to lift that moisture up above the freezing level as those tiny raindrops head up, aided by that updraft, lifted by that updraft. Now we're getting into the mid levels of the atmosphere. There, the temperatures are below freezing, so we begin to see that water freeze. It begins to drop back down, but it's carried up by the updraft again. So as it does, it aggregates or it grows, and it continues to get larger and larger until it can't be supported by the updraft. Once it's too heavy and that updraft isn't able to keep it up anymore, then it falls. The largest hailstone, by the way, 8 inches in diameter. How big is that? Soccer ball size. That in Vivian, South Dakota. Supporting updraft may have exceeded 150 miles per hour for that one. So we are talking about some extreme speeds within these storms of that rising air. Instability, it's in play. This is a look at later this evening across parts of Alabama, getting into Georgia, even a little bit of Tennessee. So all of this would be areas where we would see that air rapidly rising. Where do we have the cold air at 10,000 feet where we'd be able to support those hailstone development? And take a look at where the area overlaps. That would be the zone where we're watching for that greatest risk for large hail. That's falling right in line where that Storm Prediction Center tornado watch is right now. And we'll be watching also into Georgia, not under the tornado watch now, but could see that extended. Golf ball size hail, you're looking at Cape of 1,000. A baseball size hail, 2,000. And that's the zone we're in, that potential energy today. We've got it in play. Mike, we've already seen that hail, golf ball sized and perhaps even larger out of these storms rolling through parts of northwest Alabama.
We have. We can actually we can assign a numerical number to what our CAPE is, the convective available potential energy. We measure it in joules, okay? So you take a look at something like a 2-inch diameter piece of hail. That'd be the equivalent to dropping a 2-liter bottle to the ground. How about a 3-inch diameter hail, the equivalent being hit with a Jordan Spieth drive, okay? Or a 4-inch piece of hail, that's the equivalent being hit by a 170 mile per hour baseball, if you will. So if you don't think that hail can't be damaging, think again, right? So today, park your car in the garage, in a parking garage, anything you can, because it'll be dented up or your windshields will be cracked. And stay inside tonight. You need protection over your head, Alex.
Yeah, and I want to bring you back to a tornado warning here. This one has been reported to have led to debris falling from the sky, and we've also got a tornado picked up by the radar. This is Colbert, Franklin, and Lawrence counties. We are here in the state of Alabama, very close to the Mississippi state line, so right around Russellville. Again, this storm is moving to the east. This has been picked up by the radar, a tornado, and there are reports of debris falling to the ground just south of Russellville. We'll also watch for some large hail out of this one. This continues until 6 o'clock. We'll check in with Dr. Forbes next.
I needed legal advice for my shop. That's when I remembered that my ex-boyfriend actually went to law school, so I called him. He didn't call me back.
If your ex-boyfriend isn't a lawyer, call LegalZoom and we'll connect you with an attorney. LegalZoom, where life meets legal.
If your underwear feels like this, get buck naked. The most comfortable underwear there is. Only at Duluth stores and DuluthTrading.com.
Bringing my Giovanni Rana pasta to everyone in America wasn't so easy. So I made it easy for America to find me. In the refrigerated section, Giovanni Rana pasta. Share what's inside.
As winter storms approach, there is one place to turn to and to trust. Preparing you to stay safe. Going beyond the maps and apps. Taking you to the worst conditions, with experts breaking down the impact of every system, every season, every storm, every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 37. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday, cloudy, high 49. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies, low 29. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Long John Silver's lets you skip your trip to the same old and indulge in the different new. Like our classic Alaskan cod and shrimp basket for just $5.99. Change up what you're used to at Long John Silver's.
Eucerin has been solving dry skin problems for over 100 years. Discover Eucerin Advanced Repair. It moisturizes dry, itchy, rough skin for immediate relief and proven 48-hour moisture. For healthier looking skin, look for Eucerin.
Please keep your shoes on. Stop messing with your sister. Hey, don't make me come back there.
So?
Feels really good. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Customer service that goes the extra mile. Enterprise makes it easy.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when I was too busy with the kids to get a repair estimate. I just snapped a photo and got an estimate in 24 hours.
My insurance company definitely doesn't have that.
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Introducing new Post-it Extreme Notes. They stick in tough conditions, so you can get it set and get just about any job done. Water resistant with Durahold paper and adhesive. New Post-it Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
Mary and Shirley both need oxygen. Shirley lost her freedom the day she went on oxygen, but Mary has the brand new ultra-compact Inogen 1 G4 oxygen concentrator from Inogen. It's the smallest and lightest model we've ever made. Shirley is forced to miss out on everyday activities. Mary fully enjoys her life. Shirley has to wait for tank deliveries and worries about running out of oxygen. But Mary's Inogen 1 G4 makes its own oxygen, so she'll always have the oxygen she needs anytime, anywhere. Shirley finally listened to Mary and now has more freedom too. It's time for you to reclaim your freedom and independence with the Inogen One G4. Act now to start your 30-day risk-free trial. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait and don't accept substitutions. The sooner you call, the sooner you can say goodbye to heavy oxygen tanks for good and reclaim the freedom and independence you deserve. Call now for your 30-day risk-free trial.
Call 800-317-2619.
Every season, every storm, every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
I want to give you a live look at Russellville, Alabama this evening. 74 degrees, murky skies, and a tornado warning in the area. There have been reports of power flashes around Russellville, debris falling from the sky, as well as a car blown off the road around the Interstate 24 area. For those of you familiar with this part of the state of Alabama, we're very close to the Mississippi state line, and you can see based on this camera, it's going to be tough to make out where a tornado would be because we've got such a humid atmosphere and plenty of rain around these storms, or with these storms, I should say. Let's give you a look at the radar so you know where you're up against these storms and where these tornado warnings are currently in effect. There's Tupelo, Mississippi. Here's Huntsville, Alabama. So we are in the northwest corner of the state of Alabama. We're right along the intersection of 43 and 24. Perhaps some large hail out of this one as well. Franklin and Lawrence counties under this tornado warning as this storm continues to the east. There's Phil Campbell to the south of this one. So we'd be looking in this area right along 24. That's where we've got a little bit of a rotation being picked up by the radar. So you can see the reds and the greens heading towards the radar, the reds heading away. So this is going to be rolling right along 24, a local roadway there. This is going to be moving, it looks like, to the south of Hatton. I think that's the name of that town. But already some reports of problems in Russellville. And take a look at just how strong that rotation was when that storm was over towards the Russellville area. In this location is where we had that report of the car blown off the road, transformers or power flashes going, I should say, and also some debris actually falling from the sky to the ground. Moulton, you're going to be up next in line. This is following really right along 24. Landersville up next at 6:08, Moulton 6:18, and then Aldridge Grove and Speak just after 6:30. So this going to move basically due east. The tornado warning not in effect for Speak, but we'll be watching this storm as it continues to roll eastward. By the way, I mentioned the large hail potential. We could be looking at hail in excess of golf ball size out of the storms today. And as we look at our hail tracker here for the area, I know around Red Bay we did have some reports of large hail just to the north and west of town, over 2 inches in diameter. So I think a golf ball, a very good estimate for size out of that storm. Now these storms are rolling eastward, so around the Russellville area, also to the points south and west of town. I think you could be looking at some large hail there, and then right along the Mississippi-Alabama state line. There's where the storms are rolling, and these are going very quickly. We're talking about hilly terrain. We're also talking about a lot of trees in this part of the country. By the way, now that tornado warning has been extended into Franklin and Lawrence County. So this is going to include now Moulton and Speak. So you guys also in the path of this one. Speak is going to be rolling around you in about a half an hour. So lowest level, most interior room, get to your safe spot. If you are in a mobile home and you are in the Speak area, you've got time to get to a sturdy structure. Mike?
All right, we're definitely going to keep you updated on severe weather, but we cannot take our eyes off of what is headed for the East Coast either. It could be some pretty significant snow. Our fourth nor'easter of the season, aiming for places like New York and Washington, D.C., where you're taking a live look right now. It's 55 in D.C. The last thing on your mind is a snowstorm, but we could usher in spring with Winter Storm Toby. Our winter weather expert Tom Nizzle joining us now. This could be a pretty impactful one, Tom, for some places that have by and large been missed by storms this year.
D.C. and Philadelphia in particular. Let's get right to it. This is Toby. It's our 20th named storm of the season here, and we are on a roll here. Not only your fourth nor'easter of the season, your fourth nor'easter in March. I mean, that's got to be unprecedented. All that jet energy that's producing the severe weather tonight and into tomorrow is what's going to be responsible for the development of this system now. And I want to show you that. Take a look over southeastern Missouri. That's that piece of energy. It's actually being responsible for some of the severe weather. Now, as we get into Wednesday morning, take a look at the flow coming up out of the Carolinas along the mid-Atlantic coast there into the northeast. It's coming right up the coast. That is the racetrack for that low pressure system that is going to develop and move along that area. So let's go ahead and let's play this out. The big player in this is that high pressure system to the north. At this time of the year, we've got to get a way to get cold air down into the mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast. That's going to play the role in the eastern U.S. That's going to bring the cold air in. Take a look at the model also going just outside the benchmark here. Likely going to be a good scenario to produce snow from New York City even up into Boston. So let's play it out here. Overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, the first round here, snow into the mountains of the Appalachians. The big game starts Wednesday, rush hour, Washington into Philadelphia, continues throughout the day on Wednesday, Philly up to New York and Boston, right along the I-95 corridor. It's March. It's going to be a heavy, wet snow, and we may have a rain-snow issue along the 95 corridor. We're going to have to watch this carefully. The system moves quickly. It's a big punch, though, that comes through because, once again, it's a heavy, wet snow. Take a look at these snowfall totals here. I mean, we're talking possibly double-digit snows into Philly, all the way across parts of Jersey. New York and Boston come into play with this as well. Take a look right there in D.C., 4 to 6 inches of snow. By any means, probably their highest snowfall of the season so far. There's their timing there. It's going to be Wednesday. Philadelphia is the other place I've got to show. Not out of the question to see double-digit snow. Stay tuned, guys.
All right, Tom, thanks.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 37. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday, cloudy, high 49. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies, low 29. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coming up on this special edition of Weather Underground.
Dangerous hours ahead. A severe weather outbreak is now erupting across the southeast. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes all likely.
And the tornado threat right now is a significant one. The highest torcons of the year, all involving major cities across the south. We're tracking what could be the biggest severe weather event since last summer.
Plus, newly named Winter Storm Toby, likely to be the 4th nor'easter this month to hit the Northeast. And every major city along the I-95 corridor is at risk for big snow. Lots to cover for you tonight on a special edition of Weather Underground. Thanks for being with us. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. Widespread severe storms erupting across parts of the southeast tonight. We've got severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes in the house.
All right, Dr. Forbes, a couple reports of tornadoes already, large hail as well. This is a tough night.
Yeah, it really is, and it's probably going to get even worse as the line of thunderstorms rolls across northern parts of Alabama. That area has a particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock, meaning could be some strong and long-lived tornadoes, and we have one of those perhaps in progress at the moment. That 3-inch hail also a possibility. You get into northern parts of Tennessee, and it's a tornado watch, not one of these PDS watches, and 2-inch hail there. Here's the storms that we're talking about. Northwest heading toward north central parts of Alabama with tornado warnings. Some of these storms near the warm front in areas south of Warner Robins in Georgia have had some 1-inch hail, but it's been these that have had the baseball size hail and tornadoes with that. Franklin and Lawrence counties, you have the tornado warning. Circulation right in about there, heading over toward areas west southwest of the Hartselle area, and a line of thunderstorms heading down toward the Haleyville, Alabama area. Right in here, I think you can see the hook showing up. At times there's been a debris ball showing up in there. It seems to have sagged just a little bit south of Highway 24 now as it's going east at about 45 miles per hour. Here is the green southbound, the reds northbound. So it is a little bit down to the south and east of Highway 24, south and east of Newburgh, south and west of the Landersville area, coming across Alabama. That line of thunderstorms extends, and this tornado warning for Franklin and Lawrence counties is still in effect now until 6:45. And that line of thunderstorms more isolated as we get back now into the area south of Fulton in Mississippi. This line of thunderstorms is likely to be the main event as it pushes east. It's being driven as this upper low in the cold pocket aloft pushes east toward the Kentucky area. The south end, the tail end of that, is driving up an increasing wind speed at 5,000 feet, a low-level jet that is increasing into the evening and overnight hours. The wind shear for tornadoes as that line that is currently here marches toward probably around midnight toward the Atlanta area. The farther south you go, the less the threat and the more questionable the threat is, except for perhaps hail. But in this northern Alabama area with a PDS tornado watch, torcons of 7, as you've heard, 70% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. South central Tennessee, northwest Georgia, 6s, and then 5s for the frontal zone in central Georgia, and then progressively less as you go farther to the south. Our future radar shows that this line of thunderstorms next couple of hours begins to push into northwest parts of Georgia, works its way toward the Birmingham area, and then by midnight or so, 11 o'clock midnight, gets into the northwest suburbs of Atlanta, into Atlanta proper, and then by 1 o'clock or so is out, but moving into South Carolina in the wee hours of the morning, and maybe to the coast of South Carolina as it weakens toward sunrise tomorrow. So a rough night ahead in some parts, inland portions especially, of the Gulf Coast states. Mike and Alex?
Dr. Forbes, thanks so much. And we've got that tornado watch in effect for parts of Mississippi, Tennessee, and Alabama right
It's going to be a really rough night in a lot of places. We're going to take you right to Birmingham. That's where meteorologist Mike Seidel is tonight. Mike, things could get really rough there and the threat could go past dark.
Exactly. That's our concern, those nocturnal tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. I want to show you what Dr. Forbes has been looking at on the radar. Now, west is over there. That's north. So that's northwest in that direction. We can see the back edge of the cirrus. These are those supercell thunderstorms in the northwest corner of the state. Right now, everything is moving generally east. There is a slow drift to the south. And if the storms build back on the southwest flank, we could get hit here in Birmingham. Our prime time is between about 8 and 10 Central. Want to take you up to Red Bay. Now, we have a storm tracker on this one of these tornadic supercells earlier. We had a wall cloud here. We were following this live with Dr. Forbes and Alex and Mike earlier. You can see it looked like some of that low-level stratus. It looked like it was trying to circulate, but anyway, very dangerous supercell there. Then we show you video from earlier. This is from Morris, Alabama. This is just up the road a piece here in the Birmingham area, about 20 miles up the road. They had some heavy rain and pea-sized hail. That cell has moved all the way now east of Albertville. So that's way over now in the northeast corner of the state. And last check, that was not warned any longer. And Muscle Shoals, another town up there in that northwest corner, not far from the Mississippi line, getting hit twice. This is the first time. You can hear the tornado sirens in the background. They also getting some very heavy rainfall. These storms up there are along and ahead of that cold front now moving into central Mississippi. Once the cold front moves through, that lowers the instability, increases the stability. So that'll be later on this evening. So here's our timing here in the Birmingham area. Right now we're fine. We're sunny and 78. By the way, 80 degrees this afternoon. Our dew point's in the low 60s, so there's plenty of moisture to work with. We've had the heating of the day after the warm front went north. And then this evening, again, reiterating, in Birmingham, roughly 8 to 10. That'll be earlier north and west of here, and later off to our east and south. So time it out based on where you're sitting in conjunction where we are in the north central part of Alabama. Again, the front moves through. We stabilize tomorrow, a much safer day. Just about every school let out early at noon or 1 o'clock today. There were literally tens of storm shelters open at schools, fire departments, and EMA centers. And Simon Temperton, my producer, taking a look out at I-20 and I-65. And remember, it's the latter part of the rush hour here in Birmingham on Central Time, and there's hardly any traffic on the roadways. So I think a lot of folks have gone home and they're hunkered down and watching the Weather Channel and keeping an eye on the sky as we roll towards sundown and beyond. Alex and Mike, you know how dangerous the storms get because people can't see them coming, and eventually people go to bed and don't know about their whereabouts.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, do you get this sense that we'll get back to Mike here in just a moment, but I want to move on and talk about Atlanta and Chattanooga here. Temperatures upper 50s, low 60s. The threat moves your way after it's done in a place like Birmingham.
Yeah, and as Mike mentioned, for a place like Atlanta, this is going to be coming late evening and during the early morning hours, perhaps after midnight for some locations in the Atlanta metro. So why it's so important. Once you go to bed, you become, doubly more susceptible to a tornado.
Absolutely.
You need to get that warning, have a way to be woken up.
Yeah, because, I mean, look at this threat for a place like Atlanta. That threat goes until 2 o'clock in the morning. So please be aware of that risk. Also, high winds. We get a lot of trees in Atlanta. That could pose a risk as trees falling all the time happens.
Yeah, if you've got a bedroom that's up against a tree line, you may want to sleep in an interior room, basement. That, unfortunately, we see people killed in severe thunderstorm warnings because the trees come down, hit the home or the bedroom where they're sleeping.
It's a great call. It's a great call. For a place like Chattanooga, your threat ends around 10 o'clock, but before that, it could get really, really rough for you. In a place like Macon, our threat comes even later. We may not see storms until maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, but again, have a way to be awoken in case there are opportunities for storms to come your way, whether it's be a weather radio, the app on the phone, whether it be just the alerts on your phone that you can get now from the government, which is a great thing to have. Just have to make sure they're on.
Yeah, make sure they're on, because if they are, they will definitely wake you up. And make sure you know when you wake up. If your family and you are sleeping in different rooms, everybody knows where to go should they hear that warning, because sometimes you've only got a few minutes. Augusta, another one of these places where it will be the morning hours that you will see your greatest threat of severe storms.
Absolutely. So be safe tonight. We have new tornado warnings we want to update you on, including tornado warnings in Alabama. So this latest warning for us in Lauderdale County, you can see we're working across also Limestone County here, right, say around 5 points in Anderson. This is right along the Alabama and Tennessee state line here. Our warning goes until 6:30 tonight. If you live in Anderson, see a little hook down there, very near Anderson. That could be the tornado in the hook there. Please take shelter right away. We're back after this.
Introducing new Post-it Extreme Notes. They stick in tough conditions, so you can get it said and get just about any job done. Water resistant with Durahold paper and adhesive. New Post-it Extreme Notes. They're tailored for tough.
At the Joseph A. Bank one-day sale, save up to 70% off almost everything. All 1905 and executive suits, $199. All dress shirts and sports shirts, $39. Plus, get all traveler twill pants for $49. And go wherever the moment takes you. The one-day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
How pure can pure be?
For a future full of possibilities, our 12-step process provides 100% pure quality water. Nestle Pure Life. Pure Life begins now.
Today, we're out here with some big news. Jardiance is the only type 2 diabetes pill proven to both significantly reduce the chance of dying from a cardiovascular event in adults who have type 2 diabetes and heart disease, and lower your A1C. Wow!
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration. This may cause you to feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, and trouble breathing. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis or an allergic reaction. Symptoms of an allergic reaction include rash, swelling, and difficulty breathing or swallowing. Do not take Jardiance if you are on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Other side effects are sudden kidney problems, genital yeast infections, increased bad cholesterol, and urinary tract infections, which may be serious. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions.
What do you think? I think it's time to think about Jardiance. Ask your doctor about Jardiance and get to the heart of what matters.
For my constipation, my doctor recommended I switch to Miralax. Stimulant laxatives make your body go by forcefully stimulating the nerves in your colon. Miralax is different. It works with the water in your body to hydrate and soften, unblocking your system naturally. Miralax.
The moment you realize you have enough food for your guests, but not enough fridge.
At Lowe's, we have more appliances to choose from, so you'll find the right one at the right price. And we'll deliver it for free.
Shop Lowe's Spring Black Friday and get up to 30% off select appliance special values.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you too.
Yeah? You hear that? You ain't nothing!
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
If you're at home asking why, we've got a guy for that.
That's right. Carl Parker looking at the atmosphere. When you get it, you're going to love it. That's well done.
Slow clap.
Use the hashtag WUTV on Twitter.
Yeah, Mom.
And this is going to be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
We nailed it.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
It's a dangerous evening across northern parts of Alabama. 3 tornado warnings right now. We've had baseball hail and some damage, probably a tornado already from this cluster of 2 storms and one new one that's running along the warm front there, north central parts of Alabama. We'll start with the southern one, goes until 6:45 for warnings for Franklin and Lawrence counties. Sagging little notches right along the leading edge of this line here, north of the Haleyville area. And then another circulation that's farther to north, up around, you can almost see here, this is the storm that would back in the Russellville area produce some damage. That one would be the remnants of the circulation here around the Moulton area heading over toward Neal. But all of these circulations seem to be weakening a little bit. The southern one, the circulation around heading from east of Phil Campbell over toward the Carroll Crossroads area. The strongest looking storm at the moment now is just south of the Tennessee border, extreme northern Alabama, Lauderdale and Limestone counties. I think you could see the hook echo showing up here, and the tornado would be sitting right inside of that, and that would take it at about 45 miles per hour eastward toward, say, the Legtown area, 623, Elkmont about 630, and then Lock Crossroads, 631 as it holds together. Very well-defined rotation showing up crossing Highway 207 right now, north and east of Anderson. With this one, Reds westbound, Greens eastbound toward the Elkmont area. I don't see debris on this just yet. Everything is Doppler velocity indicated at the moment, but we'll continue to give you updates on all these storms. Mike takes a look at overnight tornadoes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Forbes, because that becomes a real threat for us overnight tonight when many of us are going to go to bed. We're not paying attention to the weather, and that storm may be coming your way and you not know it. All right, so into tonight, look at this area that's highlighted in red, the most likely areas for severe storms. That extends all the way, by the way, to the coast of Georgia and the first coast here, including Jacksonville, Florida. Now, there are a lot of states at risk for nighttime tornadoes tonight, but these areas that are darkest shaded color here, where we see the highest percentage of nighttime tornadoes. In fact, 46% of all tornadoes in the state of Tennessee are nighttime tornadoes. 33% in Georgia, 36% in Alabama. So the numbers are relatively high here. It's not just a daytime thing for us. And so that risk becomes even greater for you because you're asleep and you're not aware. By the way, studies have shown, this is a study that was done by University of Illinois, that nighttime tornadoes occur most frequently in the Mid-South and what's known as Dixie Alley. We just showed you that. And you're 2.5 times more likely to be killed by a nighttime tornado than a daytime tornado. Those aren't good odds, right? And people are likely to be sleeping and not hear the warnings, and that's why we have apps, we have weather radios, and again, we have automatic alerts on our phones, Alex, that are sent by the government. You just have to make sure in your settings you've got it turned on.
Right.
You're good to go.
So when you get that alert, you need to know where to go within your house. Make sure you have discussed with your family what is your safe spot. Lowest level, most interior room. Basement is best. If you have a basement, no brainer. That's where you want to go. If you don't have a basement, which I know a lot of the homes across the Southeast do not, you're looking for, again, lowest level, so ground floor and interior room. Think of something without windows, like a bathroom, like a closet underneath a stairwell. Maybe you've got a storage closet there. That's what you want to be in because you want to be away from the exterior walls. They're going to be the first to be compromised. And also, you want to be away from windows. You don't want that flying glass and then other debris coming in. Crouch as low as possible once you're in that space, face down, and have your hands over your head. Think now about a helmet. Maybe you've got a baseball or a football helmet, a hockey helmet. That's what you want to take with you. Also shoes, because I think people forget that should the tornado strike, now you leave your safe spot, you're going to come out to quite a bit of debris. So if you've got a pair of shoes on, that would be best, as you won't be, in danger from what could be on the ground.
Yeah, a lot of things to consider because severe weather is, it can happen in an instant and you have to be prepared. All right, Alex, thank you. We've got a lot more to come here tonight on the show. The threat of damaging storms continues across the Southeast tomorrow as well. So we're going to break down the timing for you, show you who's at risk when we come back.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you.
See if you're eligible to pay no more than $10 a month.
Italian generosity begins with the very first course every day at Olive Garden. Start with our unlimited homemade soup or fresh signature salad and a basket of our famous never-ending breadsticks, followed by plentiful portions of your favorite dishes. So many choices you'll love at everyday great prices you won't want to miss. Don't wait another moment. Get together with your loved ones today for generosity the Italian way. Only at Olive Garden.
If you're at home asking why, we've got a guy for that.
That's right. Carl Parker looking at the atmosphere. When you get it, you're going to love it. That's well done.
Slow clap.
Use the hashtag WUTV on Twitter.
Yeah, Mom.
And this is going to be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
We nailed it.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is accepting calls to see if you're eligible to enroll now. You may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits, including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're eligible to enroll and may be able to get extra benefits now. Call 800-346-4800. That's 800-346-4800.
If you love the window seat, start your day opening the window to your weather with AMHQ. Mornings on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 37. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday, cloudy skies. High 49. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies. Low 29. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back in. We are looking at Tuscumbia, Alabama under a tornado watch. And you can see as you look out on the horizon, one bright spot, everything else obscured. A heavy rain, low cloud bases today. And you notice all the trees and the rolling hills through this part of the U.S. going to make it very difficult to spot tornadoes, especially now that we are going to begin to see the sun go down. This is a dangerous part of country for storm chasers to be out. So they're being very careful, making sure they've got a way to move away from the storm should they need to.
Yeah, really difficult place to spot tornadoes, with the line of sight. So, Dr. Forbes, we've got this great tool. It's called Doppler radar, and that'll be a push to the limit tonight, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. And the other factor will be that a lot of these storms may be rain wrapped also, that you couldn't see it coming even if it was visible. And that could be the case with this cluster here in the warm sector here south of this red warm front, and another storm, extreme northern Alabama, crossing the warm front. Now, sometimes storms get a little extra rotation as they cross that warm front until they get into the cooler air on the other side. Right now, two warnings here, parts of Franklin and Lawrence County. The strongest of the circulation seem to be heading, this one's heading off to the west-southwest of Hartzell, and that would be this one. I think you can see the big hook echo showing up there. Now the circulation is moved a little bit as the brand new radar scan has come in. So that circulation will be right about here, getting very close to the Speake, Alabama area, then heading over toward the Hartzell Airport 644, Falkville about 646 as these storms go east at about 45 miles per hour. A little bit farther to south of the Phil Campbell area, heading over toward Posey Field and the Pebble, Alabama areas with a possible tornado in that warning. You can see here, I think, though, it's a little bit more by itself. And here we see a well-defined hook echo tornado when they're there, like to sit right inside that hook, just south of the Tennessee line in extreme northern Alabama, northwest of the Huntsville area. And these storms, as fast as they're going, get new radar scans in. And so I do a little updating on the position and the tracking and the timing. That one getting very close to the Legtown area right now, heading then over toward places like Locks Crossroads and the Maple Hill area of northern Alabama. This one has very well-defined tornado vortex signature on that with greens and blues going eastbound. Let me take a quick look and see if we have any debris signatures showing up at this point. I don't see any. This cranberry kind of color in here suggests that it's all rain, at least at the altitude that the radar is seeing it right here. We'll continue to keep an eye on that for you, though, and let's go back now to Alex.
Yeah, and Dr. Forbes, want to talk about the severe threat that does extend into our Tuesday. We are not done with severe weather once the overnight hours roll around tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to be watching coastal parts of South Carolina, Georgia, as well as much of the state of Florida. This is where we think we've got a good chance of storms that could bring you some damaging winds, perhaps some hail, as well as isolated tornadoes. Torcon values not as high as they are today, but they're still in that moderate range. We're talking 3 to 4. So a decent chance of at least an isolated tornado, especially as you get into the state of Florida. There's tomorrow's setup. We've got the cold front pushing east as this storm system moves to the northeast. Plenty of moisture, warmth and moisture to work with, and that's going to allow for the lift, especially as that cold front gets moving. Low-level jet stream winds, they'll also help to get that air rising. So all of that in combination will allow for some stronger storms to develop. We get you into the morning hours tomorrow. Our first line is done, but now we watch the afternoon with those storms beginning to fire, especially through, I would bet, north, central, and central parts of Florida. That's where we'll be watching for the best chance. You know, tomorrow morning could even see some gusty showers early in places like Savannah and Charleston as our storms roll east overnight. There's your Torcon, northern Florida, 4 out of 10. That's a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. We've got a 3 out of 10 for central Florida. So we'll be watching those areas for the storms to fire. 3 out of 10 also for southeast South Carolina. So, Mike, as I mentioned, not as big as tonight's threat, but still not a zero threat.
No, and so we just need to be aware, right? You can certainly have tornadoes even when you have maybe a lower overall risk of tornadoes geographically, but a place like Jacksonville, 4 is our Torcon tomorrow, 40% chance of tornadoes. Orlando and Charleston to 3, and probably for a place like Charleston earlier in the day than later in the day, all right? Here's a look at the 8 p.m. tonight forecast. Jacksonville along the first coast here, we have some storms, and then storms really still sticking around for us here. Daytona Beach as we go to about midnight, then those roll their way offshore. As we go through Tuesday now, notice the atmosphere is just going to reload for us here. Lunchtime, you still should be in good shape, but later in the day is when those storms will roll on through. In a place like Orlando, storms for you likely to refire tomorrow afternoon. We're back after this.
How do you win at business? Stay at La Quinta, where we're changing with stylish makeovers. Then, at your next meeting, set your seat height to its maximum level. Bravo, tall meeting man. Start winning today. Book now at LQ.com.
How do you chase what you love with moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis? Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Humira. It's proven to help relieve pain and protect joints from further irreversible damage in many adults. Humira works by targeting and helping to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms. Humira has been clinically studied for over 20 years.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common and if you've had TB. Hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Ready for a new chapter? Talk to your rheumatologist about Humira. This is Humira at Work.
Born in the Rockies, Coors Light is colder, cleaner, and crisper to refresh you for what's next. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
This time, it's his turn. You have 4.3 minutes to yourself. This calls for a taste of cheesecake. Philadelphia Cheesecake Cups. Rich, creamy cheesecake with real strawberries. Find them with the refrigerated desserts.
Domino's, 2 large pepperoni pizzas, please.
Only Domino's lets you earn Piece of the Pie rewards points when you order by phone, online, or when you order in store. We make it easy for you to earn free pizza any way you order.
Life happens everywhere. Like it never even happened, only happens here. The cleanup and restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com.
So I've got an interview and a date tomorrow. Double duty calls for a designer suit. Ready for the corner office. Mm-hmm. And the dance floor.
Now at Men's Warehouse, take 60% off select designer suits, plus it's buy one, get one free on select item.
You're gonna like the way you look in a designer suit.
People everywhere are confusing Quilted Northern for a bouncy castle. They're both durable, flexible, and nice to have at parties. But Quilted Northern is not a bouncy castle. It's just really nice toilet paper.
Captivating exteriors. Dynamic lighting. Elevated comfort. Powerfully efficient. And one more thing. The world comes with it. The 2019 Jeep Cherokee.
If you're at home asking why, we've got a guy for that.
That's right. Carl Parker looking at the atmosphere. When you get it, you're going to love it. That's well done.
Slow clap.
Use the hashtag WUTV on Twitter.
Yeah, Mom.
And this is going to be fun stuff.
Weather Underground, weeknights at 6 on the Weather Channel.
We nailed it.
Closed captioning brought to you by Beltone, your premier hearing care partner.
Beltone is conducting a new trial of the most advanced, virtually invisible hearing aid available.
You put them in and suddenly go, oh man, what have I been missing out on?
Call today.
Thanks for staying with us here on Weather Underground. You're looking at storm video taken earlier today in Kirkville, Mississippi. You can see the lowering clouds off in the distance. A little bit of that wall cloud, that lowering base there. Again, Kirkville, Mississippi, just one of the areas that we've been watching. And this is a time lapse, so it's sped up. You can see there's that wall cloud. You can see the rain coming down out of this storm as well. Rotating storms, big threat of that today and even right now.
Oh, absolutely. We know it is going to be a night of dangerous, severe storms with a threat for damaging winds, baseball-sized hail, and yes, tornadoes that could linger after you go to bed tonight. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Alex Wilson. We're with you until 10 o'clock Eastern tonight. We've also got a special extended coverage show after that until 1 a.m. Eastern, midnight Central Time to keep you ahead of the threat.
All right, so one person keeping a close eye on the radar is our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes in the lab. Dr. Forbes, the threat goes well past sunset tonight, so a lot of people could have a nighttime risk that does pose a very big risk.
Yeah, it really does, and it looks like the timing-wise, some of the storms will be coming through the Atlanta metro area around midnight, give or take an hour or so, and that, of course, is beyond where we currently have tornado watches, so we're not done with the severe threat just in this particularly dangerous situation. Tornado watch for northern parts of Alabama, southern parts of Tennessee that goes until 11 o'clock, northern Tennessee there, also a watch not particularly dangerous. PDS means the possibility possibility of some strong to violent tornadoes and long-lived tornadoes. And part of the reason for that is very unstable air out ahead of the cold front, and some of the storms sometimes as they cross the warm front will get out a little bit of an extra lift. Right now, one storm close to the warm front, a couple of them in the warm sector, in a line of thunderstorms there north of Huntsville and southwest of the Huntsville area. This storm, as it's come through the area of Moulton, has had some reports of trees down. Cullman, Lawrence, and Morgan counties, you can see, I think, the big swirl right about in there. That's where the tornado would be most likely, and that could be a rain-wrapped kind of tornado south and west of the Hartzell area. Tracking that out near the Speake area, maybe it has jogged slightly to the south over toward the Falkville area at about 649 inside that circulation that seems to be going just slightly south of east at about 45 miles per hour. Here is probably the strongest of the circulations here. Not as strong as it was earlier when we had stronger reports of damage back in the Russellville area, but still pretty strong. Then behind that, trailing into this line of thunderstorms, Franklin and Lawrence counties, at least for a few more minutes, with possible circulations on the leading edge of this line over towards, say, the Ash Ridge area and well to the south and east of Phil Campbell. Then up just south of the Tennessee line, I think you can see the well-defined hook echo here showing up in Limestone, Lincoln, and Madison counties north and west of Huntsville, moving east at about 45 miles per hour. Tornado would sit right inside that, about crossing Highway 127 right now, heading toward Ardmore and then over toward the New Sharon area. Let me see if I can jog this just a little bit and get it to give us the times. There we go. Coming over into, say, the New Sharon area at around 7:01. So dangerous storms, and there could be a lot more of these as we continue to push eastward and maybe building southeastward. There, as I say, getting close to the Highway 127 area near Elkmont with a very well-defined tornado vortex signature, and that will stay south of the Ardmore area by the looks of things. Temperature-wise, in the 60s and even 50s north of the front, in the 70s south of the front. The warm front comes right up pretty much across there, as I was showing, and then the winds shift around to southwest. Look at that, 82 at Jackson, Mississippi, and the upper low is pushing its way toward Kentucky. So it's the south end of the upper low giving some of the forcing, and that's what's going to drive these storms down across places besides where they are right now, over into the Atlanta area and at least down into central parts of Georgia, and probably the thunderstorms even to the South Carolina coast by tomorrow morning. Tornado condition index is highest northern Alabama, 7, southeast and south central Tennessee and northwest Georgia, 6s, and then down along that front in central Georgia, a 5. 50, 60, 70% chance of a tornado within 50 miles. Our future radar shows the main threat seems to be that's going to be this line that's coming out of the Huntsville area, going to push into northwest Georgia in the next couple of hours, midnight or so into the Atlanta area, rolling across northern Georgia, and then into central Georgia as we get toward the wee hours, and maybe weakening then, but maybe even still something severe tomorrow morning up around the Myrtle Beach area. So it is going to be a rough night, worst so up in northern Georgia, northern Alabama, as it looks right now in southeast parts of Tennessee. Mike, Alex?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thanks so much. I want to get a report from on the ground what conditions are like across parts of the southeast.
All right, meteorologist Mike Seidel in Birmingham tonight. Mike, could be a really tough night for us, and I'm looking at your shot there. It takes me right back to 2011. We saw a very similar picture from meteorologist Jeff Morrow, and watch a tornado come right through town. We're hoping that doesn't happen tonight.
Yeah, we don't want to go through that again. A lot of folks here talking about that today here at the station. He was up here, Jeff was up here, and debris started falling out of the sky and they went inside. Nothing like that right now. We did get one report of some minor damage in Russellville, a metal roof blown off, and also some damage to a Waffle House sign. That's in Russellville. Let's look north and west now over the skyline of Birmingham on a beautiful late winter, final day of winter. It was 80 degrees today here in Birmingham, about 15 degrees above average. But you're looking, as a jet takes off from the airport on the north side of town, you're looking at the kind of the anvil structure of that cluster of supercells, which has now produced numerous tornado warnings. I think right now we have 3 that are still live and active. Earlier we had the anvil, but right now we can't really see it. But you can see the Cirrus coming all the way to Birmingham. Those storms are about 75 to 80 plus miles away as the crow flies. Let me show you some hail. We've had several reports of hail in the area and also up in that direction. Now, if you're heading north out of Birmingham up towards Huntsville and those areas, you may want to not go right now because those supercells, tornadic driven thunderstorms are moving generally west to east. They're going to be moving right over the northern part of the state over I-65. This is hail video from Harvest, Alabama. This is an area just north and west of Huntsville and north of Decatur from earlier this afternoon. We also had hail reports as close as 20 miles north of downtown Birmingham. Not the large hail that we're concerned that may fall out of the sky this evening and during the early hours of Tuesday morning. Meanwhile, the governor, Kay Ivey, addressed the severe threat earlier this afternoon.
This situation will not be the last time we face severe weather this year. And we cannot say for sure what will happen tonight, but it's also very hard to say where the storms likely will develop. But I am proud to say that we are ready to support the people of Alabama and to respond should the need arise.
More than ready. They have numerous storm shelters open around the area, EMA offices, schools, fire departments, and we've seen a lot on the local station here where they've got these big concrete buildings and they're out there waiting for folks to arrive. So, Mike and Alex, as you know, the danger of nocturnal storms and especially tornadoes. Head to a safe place, don't risk it, and stay up and stay with us.
You know, Mike, you had mentioned, about a lot of schools had let out early, or there wasn't hardly any traffic on the road, even at rush hour. Mm-hmm. Do you find that may be more of a recent trend, that schools and businesses and offices are letting out earlier when normally they would just stay and shelter in place?
Oh, by far, that is definitely the case, Mike. Certainly since what happened here on April 27th, 2011, the tornado that, annihilated parts of Tuscaloosa came through here. It really changes your mindset. Better safe than sorry. Get the kids home, get home from work, have your tornado shelter, your safe space. If you don't have a basement, the interior room, or head to one of these many, many shelters around the area. So they don't take this lightly, although they realize that the chance of a tornado hitting one spot is not very high. Better safe than sorry. And we've got plenty of lead time. This watch came out several hours ago. And these warnings, as you mentioned earlier, there's a long lead time on these warnings because we're following the same cluster right across the state from west to east. So we see them translating across the northern part of Alabama. So there's no reason not to know what's going on really in this day and age of social media and, of course, the Weather Channel.
Yeah, all right, Mike, thanks very much for that update. We're definitely going to keep our eye on it for everyone tonight. So let's time this out for you and show you a place like Chattanooga, okay? Our threat between, say, 9 and 10 o'clock tonight, some of those storms could get really, really rough for you. We've had big-time hail with these as well. For Macon, the threat comes much, much later, including 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's why it's so useful to have a weather radio or the alerts on your cell phone to wake you up tonight if that threat comes in. Atlanta, your threat goes well past dark as well. In fact, you could see that threat go until about 2 o'clock in the morning. So obviously there are going to be some issues as we go late tonight, and you need to be aware of what those will be. So anything you can do to prepare yourself ahead of that threat. And keep in mind, maybe if you're going to go to something like your basement or your bathroom, everyone's got to go to the same place. You got to get all the kids, dogs, cats, and everyone down to the basement or your safe shelter as quickly as possible. Hey, still to come tonight, we've got also a big threat for damaging hail tonight. We're going to talk about where the risk could be baseball size.
Long John Silver's lets you skip your trip to the same old, and indulge in the different new. Like our classic Alaskan cod and shrimp basket for just $5.99. Change up what you're used to at Long John Silver's.
At Safelite Auto Glass, we know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why at Safelite, we'll show you exactly when we'll be there with a replacement you can trust. Well done, sir.
Looks great.
Thanks for choosing Safelite.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Saving you time so you can keep saving the world.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Have you smelled this new litter?
No.
Nobody has. It's unscented.
New Tidy Cats Free and Clean Unscented. Powerful odor control with activated charcoal. Free of dyes, free of fragrances. Tidy Cats Free and Clean. When no scents make sense.
Question, did you know that today is here for the taking? A day that's filled with more possibilities than ever before. It's time to explore and fearlessly open doors. No matter your age or stage, get up and soar. Moments like these keep us on our toes and also see us grow. Who would have thought that AARP helps us take on every day for whatever unfolds in our lives, our world. So let's take on today and every day with AARP, real possibilities.
Everyone wants to be the Cadbury Bunny, because only he brings delicious Cadbury cream eggs, while others may keep trying. No bunny knows Easter better than Cadbury.
Okay, folks, let's get the lady of the house back on her feet and help her feel more strength and energy in just 2 weeks.
The complete balanced nutrition of Ensure, with 9 grams of protein and 26 vitamins and minerals. Ensure, always be you.
Please keep your shoes on. Stop messing with your sister. Hey, don't make me come back there.
So?
Feels really good. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Customer service that goes the extra mile. Enterprise makes it easy.
System online. Who wants to see something cool?
3, 2, 1.
Boom! Rated PG-13.
So you'll be here to help protect my car?
State Farm will be here.
What about here?
Yep. What about here? Here too.
Here?
I don't think so.
That makes sense.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Average lasagna, not in this house. Because that's no average family. That's your family, which is why you didn't grab just any cheese. You picked up Kraft mozzarella with a touch of Philadelphia for lasagna. Kraft, family greatly.
At the Joseph A. Bank one-day sale, save up to 70% off almost everything. All 1905 and executive suits, $199. All dress shirts and sports shirts, $39. Plus, get all traveler twill pants for $49. And go wherever the moment takes you. The one-day sale, only at Joseph A. Bank.
Dangerous storms with tornadoes are rolling across northern Alabama. We've had a report of a tornado now near Falkville in Alabama. That's this leading storm here. There's another tornado warned storm up near the Tennessee border, and at least for the next couple of minutes, one behind that Falkville storm. We'll start with the storm here just to the south of Hartzell, Coleman and Morgan counties. I don't think it takes too much imagination here to see that big swirling hook echo, and the tornado heading toward Highway 31 that around that Falkville area is just inside of that hook, and tracking that out. It's very close to the Falkville community right now, and then heading over towards, say, the Eva, the Joppa area as it goes east, or maybe slightly south of east at about 45 miles per hour. There's the velocity showing up on that. One circulation is showing up in here, and another that is down probably where the true tornado circulation would be, down on the leading warm edge of this thunderstorm complex. Farther to the west, I think the tornado threat is going to probably diminish here in a couple minutes. A couple of other storms, though, firing up toward Addison and the Haleyville area of Alabama. But this storm's still going full force right along the Tennessee, or just south of the Tennessee line in extreme northern Alabama, what we call a bounded weak echo region here. See that little donut hole just south of Ardmore, Limestone, Lincoln, and Madison counties with the tornado threat right around the Holland Gin area, and this one also going east at about 45 miles per hour. So updating with the new radar frame coming in, some of the timing of this. Carter Grove 657, Fisk at about 707 as it goes in areas north of the Huntsville area. Very strongly defined tornado vortex signature here showing up south of Ardmore, going to go a few miles south of Ardmore along Highway 251 before very long. Mike, Alex?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thanks so much. I want to check in now with Dr. Mike Biggerstaff, meteorology professor with the University of Oklahoma. He's out tracking the storms in some newly upgraded mobile radar units tonight.
Right. Dr. Biggerstaff, tell us about what you're doing tonight, which storms you're scanning, and what you're seeing.
Yeah, we are part of the Vortex Southeast program sponsored by the NOAA National Severe Storms Lab. And we have several mobile operators out here, including 2 from the University of Oklahoma. One of them is up near Sand Mountain near Rainsville. And the other one is where I'm at right now. It's just a little bit north of New Market. And we're looking at that storm that you just talked about that's crossed the Tennessee line, moving into Alabama just south of Ardmore. And it's actually heading toward our radar site. So we may have to leave here in a few minutes ourselves. we're positioning our scout vehicle to head south.
Yeah, that's something you've really got to think about. Coming from Oklahoma, where it's prime chasing terrain, into this region where you guys are doing your research, it becomes much more difficult and a little more dangerous.
Yeah, it does. It's a lot harder to work out in the southeastern part of the United States, and that's part of the reason why the National Severe Storms Lab has been really focusing on tornadoes in the southeastern part of the United States. They're harder to measure. They're harder to predict. Now, today's supercells were generally well forecast, but the stuff that normally happens out here are much shorter-lived tornadoes from lines of convection, and those things are really hard to forecast and predict. So they've been doing a multi-year experiment out here to take a look at these types of storms and try to improve our ability to forecast them and provide warnings for the people in the southeastern part of the United States. Now, a large part of that is not just the physical science, but there's also a social science component where people are interviewing the residents out here and actually trying to get a better understanding of how they interpret the warning information and how meteorologists in general can provide a better means of communication to let them take action when they really need to. So it's a full circle of understanding the science and how we communicate our scientific findings to the community to help them make better decisions on when they need to take shelter.
Well, Dr. Biggerstaff, want to thank you and appreciate your time this evening. No, it's an active night for you, and please be safe out there. You had mentioned that storm could be coming toward them, and of course they want to be able to get packed up and headed in a safe place as soon as they can.
Yeah, the chasers, they're out there thinking about where they need to get to, not just see the storm or research the storm, but also stay in a safe spot.
The science behind it all is fascinating, though, and this is a really tough part of the country to do this kind of research. So you kind of play cat and mouse with these storms, so to speak. But it's safety above all else.
Absolutely, and coming up, we're going to continue to track the severe weather, but we're also talking about nor'easter number 4 for the month of March, and this one could bring snow to cities farther south than the past few storms.
And of course, more in our top story: severe weather across the South, an outbreak in place right now.
What average underwear feels like. What Duluth Buck Naked underwear feels like. Duluth Trading Buck Naked underwear, the most comfortable underwear there is. No pinch, no stink, no sweat. Get a pair, only at Duluth stores and DuluthTrading.com.
As winter storms approach, there is one place to turn to and to trust. Preparing you to stay safe. Going beyond the maps and apps. Taking you to the worst conditions. With experts breaking down the impact of every system. Every season. Every storm. Every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, a shower is possible early. Cloudy, low 37. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday, cloudy skies. High 49. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, partly cloudy skies. Low 29. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I no longer live with the uncertainties of Hep C, wondering, what if? I let go of all those feelings because I am cured with Harvoni.
Harvoni is a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. It's been prescribed to more than 250,000 people and is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment with 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. Before starting Harvoni, your doctor will test to see if you've ever had hepatitis B, which may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after Harvoni treatment. Tell your doctor if you've ever had hepatitis B, a liver transplant, other liver or kidney problems, HIV, or any other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Harvoni can cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects of Harvoni include tiredness, headache, and weakness.
Ready to let go of Hep C?
Ask your Hep C specialist about Harvoni.
Italian generosity begins with the very first course every day at Olive Garden. Start with our unlimited homemade soup or fresh signature salad and a basket of our famous never-ending breadsticks, followed by plentiful portions of your favorite dishes. So many choices you'll love at everyday great prices you won't want to miss. Don't wait another moment. Get together with your loved ones today for generosity the Italian way. Only at Olive Garden.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin and relief from symptoms caused by over 200 allergens, like those from Buddy. Because stuffed animals are clearly no substitute for real ones. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
Looking for a safer way to burn yard waste? Stop. Don't burn in a rusty barrel like this. Burn the safe way with the Burn Cage. It doesn't just burn, it incinerates, leaving nothing behind but fine ash. And when you're done, the Burn Cage folds up neatly for storage.
For a free information kit about the Burn Cage, call 1-800-731-6857. That's 1-800-731-6857. Online at burncage.com.
I won this 55-inch TV for less than $30 on DealDash.com.
I got all this for less than $50 on DealDash.com.
These aren't actors, they're real people who got real savings at DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. At DealDash.com, you can save up to 99%, but hurry, everything must go.
And shipping is always free.
Visit DealDash.com and start bidding today.
Every season, every storm, every time you watch. Trust in the Weather Channel.
It's a dangerous evening in northern Alabama. We have two storms right now that are tornado warned. Both of them have had reports of tornadoes with them. One of them extreme northern Alabama, right in the Tennessee border, coming across, about ready to cross the warm front here, and south of that in the warm air, one also just to the south and east of Hartselle that has a tornado with that. We'll start with that one. We've had reports of a tornado at Falkville. That's close to the Highway 31 I-65 area. You can see the hook echo now has pushed east of that. Tornado would be sitting right in there. Tornado warning for Cullman, Marshall, and Morgan counties. Going to go slightly to the west-southwest of the Arab, Alabama area. Places like Hulaco, the Joppa area, the Diamond area, as it goes slightly south of east at about 45 miles per hour. The velocity signatures showing most strongly the rotation right there on the leading edge of the storm, coming over also toward places like Baileytown, south and west of Arab. Then up right just south of the Tennessee border, maybe almost on the border right now, Limestone, Lincoln, and Madison counties, getting close to the Hazel Green, Alabama area. There's been a tornado reported with this one just south of Ardmore, Alabama. Tornado would be sitting right inside that notch, close to the Fisk area, heading toward Keys Mill, the Walnut Grove Middle School area, and then Plevna. The rotation in this still pretty strong. Greens eastbound, Reds westbound, and heading toward the Hazel Green area, but not as strong as it had been. We'll hope that downward trend continues. It's going to ultimately get east of the front into cooler air, more stable air, and that sometimes ultimately will weaken these storms and lower the tornado threat. Mike, Alex?
All right, Dr. Forbes, thank you. We'll keep our eyes on that, but we also have to keep our eyes on what's headed for the East Coast in the next day and a half. Heavy snow and the possibility of our fourth nor'easter this month in New York and Washington, D.C. are in play as we usher in spring with a big snowstorm. It's Winter Storm Toby. Our winter weather expert Tom Nizzle's here. Tom, this is just mind-blowing. Four nor'easters likely in the course of roughly 3 weeks.
Yeah, your face is on wanted posters out in the Northeast.
This is really something. I haven't seen this happen before. When you get to this time of the year now, we've got to get some cold air into the system. So certain things have to happen, and they are, as a matter of fact. One of the main components that plays a role here is that high-pressure system in eastern Canada. That's going to be responsible for getting that cold air down into this system to produce snowfall. Very important factor here. So, by the way, take a look at Philadelphia. They could have their second highest snowfall on record so late in the season from this storm. That low is also going to take a track that's going to go right near the benchmark there. That yellow line's there, 40 degrees north, 70 west, which likely could bring the heavier snowfall right along the coast from New York to Boston. So there's a lot coming together for this late season storm. Let's go ahead and play it out. The precursor to this storm is overnight tonight into tomorrow. There's going to be some snow that is going to occur in the central Appalachians, where elevation will play a role in providing enough cold air. But the main event here really ramps up as we get into Wednesday morning. Take a look at all that blue. The darker blue, the heavier snowfall. This is going to be a heavy and very wet snow. This could bring power lines down, branches down onto power lines, and power outages. The system is going to continue to produce snow from Washington, D.C. through Baltimore, Philly, New York, and into Boston through a good part of the day on Wednesday. And then eventually the system moves out pretty rapidly going up toward the Gulf of Maine. But take a look at the snowfall out of this system. This is no slouch for a March storm here. In fact, Philadelphia in the crosshairs of the heaviest snow right now. They could see some double-digit snow out of this. In Washington up to Baltimore, the coast will play a little bit of a role here. The further southeast you go, the less snowfall. I-95 corridor, always an important geographic feature of these storms. It's going to be heavy, wet snow, and I would not be surprised we still see significant changes to the forecast because it's such a difficult forecast with temperatures at this time of the year. We could easily go over to rainfall. D.C., Wednesday, going to be a rough day, heavy wet snow. Take a look at Philly's forecast once again. We're looking at a solid foot of snow across Philadelphia. By far the highest snowfall for the season here. And once again, this would be the second highest on record, only surpassed by April 3rd and 4th. Of 1915, 103 years ago. So that's pretty significant. Their timing as well is going to be a Wednesday event. Throughout the day, Wednesday, we're going to see significant issues here. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. There's still a little wiggle room here, but possibly our fourth nor'easter in the month of March.
It's amazing.
Happy spring.
Yeah, happy spring indeed, right? Hey, I want to get to one of your questions, one or two if we can real quick. Bring in Dr. Forbes as well. Kat wants to know, what is the Torcon looking like for Augusta, Georgia?
Well, that's going to be as this line of thunderstorms that's now in Alabama moves east. So I've given a Torcon of a 5 in there or less. I think these storms, as they get later on into the night, are going to go down a little bit less than that. And timing-wise, you can watch here this particular model's forecast. The line of thunderstorms gets through Atlanta midnight or so, and then it's probably around 3 a.m. That it gets over into the Augusta, Georgia area.
All right, we got time for one more quick question this evening. Our next question comes to us via Twitter, and use the hashtag WTV. Debbie asking, is it necessary for a large severe thunderstorm to exist before a tornado can develop?
And most of the time, the answer is yes. You most of the time need to have a severe thunderstorm, and usually these kind of supercells are large ones. But once in a while, in the winter, you'll get low-top storms, but they have a lot of rotation down at low levels. And once in a while, the answer is no. But most of the time, it's yes.
All right, we're back right after this. 60 seconds, another hour of Weather Underground continues.
Currently in our area, 50 degrees under cloudy skies.